Hello, everyone, and welcome to kind of maybe a long overdue podcast with myself, Darren, aka Darrow, and with me is my good Canadian chum, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. How you doing this Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon, where you're at?
Hello, hello. Well, I'm doing well. It's been a while since we've done a podcast, and this podcast is a little different because it's going live on Twitch right now. So when you listen to this on the playback, it won't be live, but it's live now. If you guys want to ask some questions,
Ask a
ask a
question.
question, go ahead, and we'll answer.
Chop it up.
Yeah, we'll chop it off exactly. So yeah, it's been a while. It's been you told me before we started 2019 since we've done a
Yes, it's
podcast.
August, 26th of August 2019 was the last episode of the United Kingdom
That's
podcast that
crazy.
we uploaded. I'm not really going to say this is a United Kingdom podcast. This is probably just really going to be a random one, to be honest, because we'll probably just talk all sorts of subjects. So, a certain big topic is going to come up, of course. We probably might, start off with it since it was a big thing last year. But we're going to talk about sort of usual things we talk about anyway, like video games, wrestling, probably, and a few other bits and bobs and tangents and stuff like that. Like
Yes.
if people who have listened to us before, then we know you know what to expect. And this will probably go on for 3 hours since it's been a long time that you and I have actually sat down and chatted.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a while, so we've been busy, I guess, even though everything is shut down. We've I've been quite busy on my end, so I still go to work. You still go to work on your end, so
Yes, unfortunately.
yeah,
I'm currently off though,
yeah.
but yeah.
But I mean, we still, in a way, I'm very happy and lucky to still have my job, and my girlfriend has her job, and we're still going. But I know some people, because of the current events, have lost their jobs and are struggling right now. So I count myself, I count myself lucky to still have my job and everything. So
Yeah, let's pretty much talk about it though, because as I said, since you and I done the last podcast, the world's pretty much changed for the worse because of a good old year called 2020 and a
yes,
good old thing called COVID-19
yes, it'll be
came and completely sort of changed a lot of things of the world
world's gone to shit.
where people can't travel now freely.
Exactly.
Um, you have to go out and wear a mask.
Hmm.
Fortunately, a lot of people think that it is still one big hoax and they don't want to go out and wear masks. They do not want to do social distancing. They just think this is all some sort of conspiracy,
Yep.
etc., etc., etc. Despite the fact, I don't know. I just find when see people on Twitter and other forms of social media going on about that, they kind of just like laugh. I don't know, because how can people say like this is all some sort of big joke
I
though?
mean,
I don't
you
know.
know, people are people, and over here it's the same thing. I mean, over here in Quebec, there's still people like we're in the worst of the worst. Like we're even worse than we were in March, April last year. I mean, right now when total shutdown, only the schools are going right now, and we have a curfew here. So from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. we have a curfew now. So things have gotten way worse here than they were in March, April of last year. Because of the different COVID variants that are coming out right now.
Yeah, like that's pretty much the same situation here though. Like we're currently on lockdown here as well, and we've been in lockdown since the after Christmas
Yeah,
here in Northern
same here.
Ireland, though especially though. But like certain other places of the UK have their sort of different sort of lockdown, like England's on lockdown as well. But I think pretty much all the UK and Ireland are in lockdown at the moment. But ours start like pretty much the day after Christmas. So they're like
Hmm.
all like everything's pretty much shut down except for supermarkets and like all like
Yeah,
non-essential
the
stores
the
are
essential stuff is up.
closed.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I got my hair cut before it shut down again, because if it didn't, then my hair would be an absolute flipping mess by the time they open again. Like I think it's 6 weeks. I think they're shut down for though, so it'll probably be
Yeah,
mid-February before things are open here again. But don't know what's going to be the case. It could be still extended or whatever now.
they're saying February 6th, I think here, but I don't know. It's been going down since because we were close to 3,000 cases per day here, which might not sound huge to you guys, but that's Quebec City, Quebec, the province of Quebec rather, only. So we're at 3.5 million people here, something like that. So 3,000 cases per day, while in March, April we were at what, maybe 1,500 to 2,000 per day. So we have a lot of deaths, also people dying everywhere, and a lot of people in the hospitals. Hospitals are overflowed. So that's why they decided to cut everything off, and only the essential stuff is going right now. So, I mean, it's it's been it's been a short and a long year at the same time. It's been a long year because of the events.
Yeah, I could definitely see what you're saying there. Like to me, I think it did seem to go flew by. It just seemed to be never ending, but also it did kind of flow by. Like
Yeah,
after the whole pandemic began, the months just seemed to fly by.
yeah, exactly.
So they did, and just like before you know it, fucking end of the year just came and went. Like I actually think last year was like the quickest year in my lifetime I can think of, despite the fact it was such a big, shitstorm of a year that what happened
Yeah,
between pandemic, the riots, the Black Lives Matter stuff over the
yeah.
summer,
hmm
and then the whole flipping hoopla with the election, and that certain
Per-
person who will no longer be present this week,
yeah, exactly.
Mr. Donald Trump,
Yeah,
because he was a big headline last year and earlier this year with what
yeah.
happened in the capital, or not last week but the week before.
hmm Oh yeah, it's been headlines. I mean, he's making headlines everywhere in the world. I'm in Canada, and we hear about it all the time. So I mean, it's really something what happened there last year and the beginning of this year. It's quite crazy, all that stuff going on. So let's hope that President Biden can bring stability. It's going to be tough because they're
It's going to be very tough, because pretty much it shows, like, especially even though like Biden did win the election,
Mhm.
and all that, there was still a fair few amount of people that still voted for Trump,
Exactly.
that still, like, okay, like you vote for, like, there's people out there who probably vote for it because they always vote for Republic anyway. They might not, personally think all of Donald Trump's things are, great and all that there, but they just vote for Republic all their lives and stuff like that. And like, they'd rather vote for him than vote for a Democratic, or vote for the, like, Democratic candidate now.
Mhm.
But there is people, I say this time and time again not time and time again on Twitter, but sometimes I reply to people when they say something, when you hear something about Donald Trump does, and there's people out there who just, completely head over heels in support of him though. And I just feel, I use the word, and we heard this word a lot when a certain game came out in 2012 called Mass Effect 3,
Mhm.
with the whole thing in there, and that is indoctrinated.
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel that there is people out there that are indoctrinated, and they just believe everything, and just believe everything he says, and it just will go to the ends of the earth for him, it
Yeah.
seems.
Exactly.
And some of the absolute vile spittle he comes out with though sometimes, it's just absolutely ridiculous. But there's so many people out
Yeah.
there who just think he's the best. Like Trump going to make America great again, and they just think they just hated all this, the riots and stuff like that over the summer though, and that those riots were for an actual worthy cause. Whereas last week, they're people just did it just to fucking cause up a fuss. And like what was the point of the ones that the thing there in the Capitol there last week?
There's no point.
To cause an insurrection?
Yeah.
The fucking just because they supported Trump, because he pretty much didn't flat out say it though, but he pretty much did through his rally and stuff like that. Pretty much said, egg them on.
Yeah.
Go and cause a ruckus at the Capitol.
Yeah, Proud Boys get ready. Those types of
Yeah, like that's
comments.
yeah. Proud Boys stand up and get ready, whatever it was
Yeah.
back during the debates. It's absolutely ridiculous, though, and yet there's people still think he's still don't think he's like bad. But I don't talk I tend to follow some certain politic things when it happen on Twitter though, because you can't escape it though, especially on Twitter nowadays, because it seems every day. Well, not now though, after what happened though, which is like
Yeah.
fucking long overdue.
Yeah.
His Twitter account finally got banned.
He's banned from everywhere, actually.
Yeah, but yeah, everywhere, but Twitter especially. Like that's like I don't go anywhere. I don't really go on Facebook or any other sort of form of social media though. Like Twitter is like where I get my sort of stuff, and like the fact is, it took that there to finally flipping make some people wake up and smell the coffee.
Yep.
Whereas he has said so many horrible and flipping distasteful stuff throughout his years on Twitter, during his campaigns, during his presidency, and yet this is the that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
It should have been broken when he was first impeached. His first impeachment. That should have been it right there. The end.
And he's his only president in history to be impeached twice.
Yep, exactly. That's crazy. I mean, impeached twice, and possibly removed, next week. Who knows? Maybe, I mean, Pence is scared to remove him, but, you never know what that crazy man's going to do, after,
That's the thing as well. There is certain people are afraid.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's not right in the head. There is something wrong with Donald Trump.
He's a mob boss. Plain and simple. He's just a mob boss. So, it's like, hey, if you don't do what I tell you to do, if you don't follow what I tell you to do, I'm going to get rid of you. First of all, I'm going to fire you, and then when I'm a civilian again, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, So.
And I think some people are afraid because of the whole, whole thing with the, 2016 election.
Yeah.
That people still feel that there was Russian interference with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And people are afraid that he is still in line with the Russians.
I wouldn't be surprised,
so
dude.
If they piss him off, then something along those lines could happen.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. They wouldn't surprise me the least. They told me he wasn't. They discovered. They probably know, but if it comes to light that he was, in line with them, I wouldn't even be surprised, So.
Nothing surprised me about that.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's been a whirlwind with COVID, with him, Black Lives Matter, the whole situation. It's been a pretty bad, 10 months. But let's hope.
I know it's 10 months now. Hard to believe.
Yep.
It's 2 months. It's pretty much 2 months now. Around this time now, it was around St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Yep. My birthday.
When it pretty much everything sort of happened, and it's everything's shutting down. Everything was getting cancelled. Everything was getting closed. The basketball season, wrestling events, etc., etc. So it's a year nearly. Hard to believe.
Yeah, I remember I was going on vacation because it was my birthday coming up, and I always take vacation on my birthday, and they were talking about shutting everything down, and so they shut everything down while I was on vacation. Everything was shut down, everything stopped, and I was at that point, I was it's gonna last 2-3 months. Everything's gonna be back to normal after that, everything will be fine. It'll go away, and we'll be fine and everything. And look at us now. I mean, we have the vaccine now and everything, but how long is that
I
gonna take?
never, I didn't, I never, I knew it wasn't going to be just a couple of months. So I knew this, like I knew it was going to be a lot longer process than
Yeah,
that. Now,
it's crazy.
if it does, if it's not, if it goes beyond this year now, then I'll probably be a bit more surprised.
Me too. I mean, we have vaccines now, so
But the thing is, this is not going to completely go away
no, it's
now.
never gonna go
It's
away.
not like get vaccines now. It's like, oh yeah, let's just fucking party now and stuff like that. Like the thing is, it's not going to go completely away because there is still going to be people out there who won't take a vaccine, who'd still believe it's all some sort of it's just completely wrong. It's just completely false and stuff like that there now.
We'll see. We'll see what happens
And
with that because over here they're talking about asking for proof that you've been vaccinated if you're going. Let's say you're going to a movie theater or you're going to places where a lot of people are, a concert or a wrestling event or stuff like that. They're probably going to ask
yeah, like that would
for.
probably be a good sort of safety protocol
Mm,
though. At the, like you go to a concert and stuff like that, like you said, yeah, like basically just sort of have some sort of you know thing on your ID or something just says say have you been vaccinated, and if you say like yes dude, like do you have like proof or something, then you say okay I have this little like wee form or little wee thing just to show that you have been vaccinated, you gotten the like 2 doses now and
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, exactly. Well, I hope they do that because I mean, once you get the vaccine, of course, it's to me. I think maybe I'm wrong, but I think we're going to need to be vaccinated every year, upcoming, starting now because of that disease. I think we're gonna need to be vaccinated every year. I think. I think. I'm not sure, but I think we might need to, maybe one dose because well, there's two vaccines that come in two doses.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like you get the first jab, and then like I think it's like a several week period, and then you get the second
I
jab.
think it's 12 weeks, 3 months, I think,
Right.
and then you get the second vaccine. But now there's Johnson and Johnson who have one that is one shot. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but we'll see. But by the time they vaccinate everybody, over here they're done with the ideal people in retirement homes and old folks homes and hospitals, and they vaccinated the hospital staff and everything. So now they're going to start. I think by the end of January they're going to start vaccinating people under 65 years old.
Okay.
The first shot, of course. So I mean, I'm in what they qualify as, I guess, categories of people. They're saying, well, if I judge by what's going on, I won't get my vaccine until June, probably. So my
Okay.
first dose. So it's still a while away.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
it
yeah, like
seems.
I'm in mid 30s,
Yeah,
and of course like it'll be like like the people like the care workers and like the elderly and the vulnerable. Of course they should be the ones first ones to get the
yeah,
vaccine,
exactly.
and then like just go each category below that. So I don't know when I'll be able to though. Like assume probably maybe by the summer,
Yeah,
maybe later.
yeah. I don't know.
Like I think currently here we've had three like in the UK overall I think it's like been 3.5 million people been vaccinated.
Okay.
So it has I believe it
You
is
have
three
three
and a
and a
half.
half million already over there.
Yeah,
Holy
I
crap,
believe
that's
so.
good.
I'll have to look it up here, but I believe it is the case there because we're like because we're really like one of the first, if not the first
Yeah, let me look
place
it
to
up.
have to start the vaccine. Hence why like I think it's been sort of early in the year that we got it. So it was
Let me check the count here.
I
Uh,
believe it's 3.5 now, or was it 1.5? I could like I said I think because I did check it there the other day now. I think it was 3.5.
So they don't show
I'll check
how
it off
many
here
people were
myself.
vaccinated so far, do they?
But like that's like the first thing now, so it was like the first job.
So we're getting a vaccine delay here. So, which is fantastic. Everything just goes from worse to worse to worse. um, so we have a vaccine delay, but they're saying Canada still expects enough doses for all by September. So they're saying we should all. Well, I think they need 75 to 80% of people vaccinated to have herd immunity, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Okay.
have you found something on your end?
I'm just checking here now. Let's see.
Let's see today.
It says here that was the 10th of January, though. It says have vaccinated around 2 million people, but I believe I think it was around 3.5 because I did read that a few days ago. But it's like at least 2 million, though, from the 10th of January. So that was a week
So
ago.
we've administered 146,694 vaccines so far. So
Okay.
to Montreal, it's 37,593. Of course, because it's the biggest.
Yeah, taking the total above 3.5 million, yeah. Because they did say they try to meet the target of 15 million people in the UK dosed by 15th of February.
You see, we received on January 16th. We received 23,390 doses. So, but on January 12th, we had 40,950. So it's stopping. It's going back. It's stopping. It's going back. I don't know. It's really really weird. So anyway, it's that's the story about that. I mean, I'm gonna keep this as a favorite here.
It's just good to see though it's happening though. Like to be honest though, I didn't expect the vaccinations to come this soon. I actually expected maybe a little later down the road, like
Yeah,
sometime during you know middle of this year.
yeah, but I think
That's what I was
they
kind
really
of.
don't have a choice. They probably rushed everybody to get that vaccine out there as fast as they could because it's
Yeah.
going worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, and
So.
also like the ones that have tried, those seem to be, was it 80-90% sort of success or whatever.
Hmm.
So if it was more along the lines of like 60-50%, that'd be like a bit more, I don't know, a bit more
Hmm.
cautious.
Yeah, if it's 90%, I think it's 94% or something like that. So yeah, I'm ready to take I'm ready to get the vaccine for sure. So
Yeah.
if I can go back to a semi-normal life, I've been indoors pretty much since March last year. I used to go out to get
You're working at
haircuts.
home then, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm staying at home, since I'm kind of a person that if I get it, I don't know if I'll get out of it. So
Yeah, like you'd be more of one of the more vulnerable people.
yeah, so I kind of steer away from everything. We did the Christmas shopping online this year, and we did go to amongst the crowds and everything. So we try to be careful. We try to be take precautions and everything. I went out last summer like a couple of times to the restaurant, outdoors because it was summer. But I didn't really go out and party or go to do stuff with a bunch of people or whatever. So I try to keep
Yeah,
away.
like the last trip I went on was I went to Cork there for a few days during over the summer, so I did
Hmm.
down in Ireland, and that was like the last sort of trip I went on. And besides that, it's just been staying at home or just going to work pretty much.
Yeah.
Like I go to the shop though, like like a minute away from me now, like just to get a few bits and bobs and stuff like that. But otherwise, that's pretty much all done since then.
Hmm. We order
And you
everything
just
online.
realize though that when all that stuff's taken away for you, like travel, going to wrestling shows, like you just really like I fucking miss traveling and going to wrestling
Hmm.
shows and out there now, cause you just really do miss it.
Yeah, you miss the simplest little
Yeah, you
things.
miss those things like going to cinema, going to like just going out there just without a care in the world
Yeah.
though, and now you can't do that because of this whole damn thing.
Yeah, I miss going to get a coffee at Starbucks. It's like we try not to go, even if it's drive-through, and we can, it's pretty safe, I guess I would say, but we try not to go out too much. So, we order out most of our things. So I just miss the fact, like going on a car ride, going to get a coffee and stopping at some place, and just hanging out with people and stuff. So that's been it's been a rough time, let's just say, mentally, and but mentally you kind of go into that. Is it ever going to end? Is it ever going to come back? Is it you know you start
It won't no,
thinking,
it won't be the same. It won't be the same. That's the
no,
thing.
it will
Like the
never be the
world's
same.
completely it's completely there's going to be a pre 2020 world now,
Yep,
and everything after it's just going to be completely different
yep,
now. People are going to be more cautious and stuff like that. Well, some people will be more cautious, of
yep.
course. Other ones are just, just go around their day, just think this is just, like I said, just one big sort of hoax and stuff like that. Just don't believe in all this conspiracies and stuff like that
Mm.
now.
Yeah, the world will be changed. I mean, just look at people working from home. You know, like companies will see, okay, well, we don't really need everybody on site for work, so maybe you can work from
Yeah,
home.
we don't need these big
Yeah.
offices. Certain people can work at home now and stuff like that now.
Hmm.
But that's like I said, it's not for everyone now. Like not every
No, of course,
job now can
of
work from
course
home.
not.
Like I can't work from home, of course.
No.
Like I'm up in essential. I need to go at work and pack shelves and not there
Hmm.
because I'm in the essential group.
Yeah, me too. Because
So
we,
yeah.
I'm a support for an internet provider, so I kind of need to be there. So we're kind of essential over here. So yeah, I mean, people who have desk jobs and have to go, to the travel, but they can do it from home. Like, I'm not saying restaurants or stuff like that, but even cinemas are going to change. Will there be cinemas after this? Who knows? Will it still exist? Will it disappear? You know?
I think a lot of cinemas are going to be closing down. Like a lot of places have closed down, unfortunately, due to that there, because
Yep.
like their business has been killed.
Mhm.
That's the thing.
Yep.
And I do feel sad. Like some of those, like small time businesses, the mom and pop stores and all them ones that like they've like long a lot of them have shut down now because of the fact is like they haven't been doing any business and therefore
They lost everything.
they're the ones that
Yeah.
have to suffer.
Yep.
Whereas big fucking corporations like Amazon are
Yeah.
like just making billions and billions of dollars because people buy online, people buy through them, and
Mhm.
Jeff Bozo and the like are just fucking, jumping in the fucking diving pool full of money like Scrooge McDuck.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see the world after COVID. How is it going to be? How is how are our lives going to be? It'll be weird. Will it be like Japan where people walk around with masks all the time? You know, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see.
Japan know what they were doing though. Although like they were fine there for a while, but they've sort of their cases have risen again, but it's not to the extent of somewhere here in like in the UK
Hmm.
where I think like it's just been in the 5 digit numbers there recently of up in cases.
Yeah.
Like 50,000, 60,000 cases and all that there.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's just ridiculous. It's madness.
Yep. That's crazy. Think well, if we want to change subjects and not be doom and gloom too much, um, what do you think about WrestleMania being at Raymond James Stadium in front of a crowd apparently this year?
Yes, that news just came out last night there. Um, Very interesting. Like, it's not going to be like the first show in front of a crowd
No,
now,
of
because
course.
there has
Yeah.
been various shows since the pandemic started that has had limited crowd capacity. Of course, AEW has been pretty much have been having them ever since the pandemic happened. Like, first it was just like the wrestlers in like the front there in Daly's place, and then like a few months down the line they just started having a few hundred people like dotted around the place now.
Hmm.
But ever since the pandemic happened, there hasn't been a proper crowd at a WWE show, except for like the few people at the NXT
Oops.
shows. But but in terms of the main rosters,
Hmm.
there hasn't been one since since Raw March 2020.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
like the week. That was the last time there was a crowd. Um, it'll be interesting. So it'll be just to see an actual WWE show with a crowd again.
Hmm.
Um, I do like the fact they're doing the 2 nights again, because I enjoyed WrestleMania 36 last year, and one of the reasons why, because it was 2 nights rather than
Yeah,
a
I'm
one
with
night
you on that.
7 hour
Yeah.
extravaganza. Because staying up till fucking 5 o'clock in the morning to watch a WrestleMania is just no good. Although I was at the last two live WrestleManias with crowds in them, of course.
Hmm.
Um, so it wasn't like 5 o'clock in the morning where I was, but for people like in the UK and out there, it was, and it's no fun. And of course, like, I feel like 7 hours is way too long for any wrestling show, even if it is like has great match after great match after great match.
Yeah.
But it's just much better with the 2 nights, though, because Wrestle Kingdom does that, and Wrestle Kingdom's grand for doing that now as well. It's like 2 nights, 3 hours, 4 hours,
Exactly.
and you get your stuff there. And last year's WrestleMania I thought was great, both like what 2 3 hour shows or so, 3 4 hour shows, and I just enjoyed it a lot more because of them. Because if I had to watch all that stuff one night, I'd been fucking drained.
Yep. I agree. I agree.
Um, I believe it's going to be probably around 15,000 or something. That's what the sort of consensus is going to be.
Okay.
It's going to be 15, like 15 to 20,000 probably capacity. So there's, I don't know what the actual capacity for the stadium is. It's going to be like it's like 60, 70,000 anyway. But of course you're not going to have that many people there, because that would be an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, exactly. We have Mick Avenged in the chat who says they're letting some people watch the Buffalo Bills live here because it's their first playoff run in 25 years. Yeah, I've heard about that. That they're
Yeah, like I believe, yeah, because I believe, yeah, there's been certain places have had limited crowd capacity
I think Buffalo's
and
doing
have
it
it.
too. Not Buffalo, but Cleveland. I think I do it. They're doing it also for the Browns. I'm not sure because
Okay.
they haven't been in the playoffs in a while also. So yeah, I mean, if they're cautious, I mean you're not going to see like you see on the screen right now WrestleMania 3 with 92,000 people apparently in the stadium. Like you're probably going to see a third of the stadium full. I'm thinking if they leave like two seats in between everybody, unless you're with like AEW does pretty much, like they have the
Yeah.
if you're a group of people together, you're together, but everybody else is spaced between between each other, So
Like the Wrestle Kingdom shows I watched there, and like that stadium, I think supports like 40,000 odd people. I think usually,
hmm
it usually has like 30, 40 odd thousand people at Wrestle Kingdom show, and they were down to like, I think it was like the first night was like 12,000 or something, and I think the second night was like 7,000 or something along those lines. And the way it was light, though, you wouldn't think it was completely like half empty or something. It did look like it was like a pretty good crowd nonetheless.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what they're going to do with the lighting. But the thing is, it's an open stadium unless it's a closed roof now. But I doubt. I think it's probably an open stadium.
I think
Therefore,
Raymond James is open. Yeah.
yeah, it is open though. But it is gonna look interesting though.
But it's the same setting as
Yeah, they're
last
gonna
year.
do.
That the pirate thing. It's the same setting.
Yeah, because it was originally meant to be there, of
Yeah.
course, until COVID hit, and therefore it got moved to the performance center.
I wonder if they're going to use the same song as last year, like the "Blinding Lights" by
Opening lights.
The Weeknd.
No, I don't. I don't think they will. No, I think they're going to use a different song now.
It'll be like, hey, the same song again. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be weird. It's going to be cool because it's going to be at a stadium and it's supposed to be and everything. But I wonder what Royal Rumble is going to be like next week with no fans, and I don't know how
It's
that's going
just
to be.
2 weeks.
Oh, it's 2 weeks. Okay, I thought it was
Yeah.
next week.
No, it's the end of January.
Okay, unless they announce, hey, we're going to have people in the stadium. So I don't know.
Nah, like they were trying. I think they were planning to try and get fans there, but I think it's pretty much been said now
It's been
that
shut down.
there's not going to be any fans. Nah, it's just going to be the standard Thunderdome though, and it is going to be really fucking weird watching a Royal Rumble match with no
Oh
crowd.
yeah, it's going to be it's going to be really really weird and really different.
And it's going to be weird, especially for like myself, like who I went to the Royal Rumble last year
Hmm.
and fucking loved it. So it's just gonna be weird to be there now. It's like I was there last year in front of a crowd and it was great. Now I'm gonna watch people here come out to fake crowd
Fake crowd
noise,
noises and tiny, little TVs of people staring at the at the thing.
staring at the thing,
Yeah,
and some of them have bad camera angles and bad audio video quality and stuff like
yeah,
that. But that's probably the case because the connections and stuff like that. So
exactly, exactly. I wanted to try to get into. I don't know if it costs something to get into the. Um,
no, it doesn't cost anything. You just register.
okay,
Like usually, like a few days before a certain event, they say, okay, just go to the site and register for it, and then you register for it, and then I think you probably get an email back or something say, okay, you're eligible to go in. Just click on this link at the time, and then click in and see if you can get in. Sometimes people try to click in, and it's like, okay, we're already full. Just try and then people just refresh then
okay.
probably every so often just to see if they can get in then.
Hmm.
Like I've never tried it myself though, although I could have tried it there last week there because I was off.
Hmm.
But not gonna bother because I do not watch Raw or SmackDown whatsoever. I like listen to recaps and stuff like that and watch clips though, but I wouldn't watch Raw at the moment anyway
Yeah,
because judging by what I've seen on the last few months with recaps and that there, I think it's most of the time it seems to be a fucking chore to watch. So it
yeah. I
is.
don't think it's worth watching. Um, yeah,
Do you still watch the shows or
no,
just the
I
pay per
just watch the
views?
pay-per-views. I don't watch the shows.
Yeah, like I, although I actually didn't, I haven't watched the last two pay per views to be honest. I haven't watched Survivor Series or TLC to be honest.
Okay.
I just really, just wasn't really, couldn't be care less to be honest for the most part. To be honest, like I feel like the last few pay per views of the year just basically like who cares?
Yeah.
Like they just seem to like okay, who cares? Let's just get this last few months over and done with. Let's just and then just start over again once Rumble season hits. It's always been the case
Exactly.
every year, especially like I just do hate the whole Survivor Series thing. Oh, it has to be Braun versus Braun, despite the fact they only had a fucking draft a few weeks beforehand.
Yep.
Like that's the thing, and people. I'm not the only one who says this here now. Like a lot of people say, what is the point of having all this Braun supremacy thing when there's someone who might have just been on SmackDown all of a sudden's on Raw, and yet they're supposed to be representing Raw when they've been on SmackDown for the last year.
Hmm.
Like that, they're stupid. Like if they were like the draft used to be before after WrestleMania, and now it's October because of the whole
Yeah, exactly.
last year as well with the SmackDown premiere, and then like the week after that it was the draft. I just don't get that whatsoever. But no, I haven't watched the last few pay-per-views. But like I said, I listen to recaps and stuff like that and watch videos and stuff like that
Hmm.
though. So it hasn't been
We haven't missed much.
particularly
There's some good stuff, but you
no
haven't missed much, to be honest.
no
There's
like I know
Mick Avenged still with another comment. He's been watching basketball. It's been weird with no crowd too. They had fans and celebrities through Zoom on screens. Okay, I didn't know that. I know I watched hockey. Like I watched a couple of hockey games, and it's really weird having no people in the arenas, and everything is like covered with tarps. Like there's nobody in the arena, and there's no crowd, and there's no like they don't pipe in crowds like WWE does. Like it's just dead silent except for the commentators. It's really weird. It's a weird thing.
yeah, but that's like every sport though.
Yeah.
Basketball, baseball. Like some might have like you might have limited crowds, so or just no crowds whatsoever. So you just gotta hear like complete and utter silence, or like UFC and stuff like that. There,
Yeah.
it's just completely weird though. Like there are certain sports to be fine without a crowd, but like honestly, I think honestly wrestling needs a crowd.
Yep. Exactly.
Like it's one of those sports. It definitely is a lot better with a crowd because you just realize what like there's certain matches. Like, did you watch the Walter versus Ilya Dragunov match?
No, I haven't watched it. I heard about it, but I haven't watched it. No.
Like that is one of those matches that I think would be is just as great with a crowd or without a crowd because like especially when you like Walter just brutalizing them and just
Oh yeah.
hear it
Mhm.
without no crowd, no, just hear the fucking just like the chops and the fucking snaps and all that there. It's just brutal that match because of it. There's no crowd.
I
I think it
should
just
watch
makes
that.
that match much more special.
Actually,
Yeah, it is a great match. One of the best like WWE brand matches of last
let's
year.
try to find it
Definitely
here.
recommend. It's like 20, I think 25 minutes, so it is. So I recommend you check that out. So you do.
I think I
Um,
have it here.
but yeah,
Put,
what? Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I'm putting it on the screen. I think it's just a recap, but yeah, you can see the.
Yeah, but like I think it was October, November, I believe it was.
Okay, this one is
I
October
forget
29,
exactly.
2020
Yeah, yeah, I think it was like around
for the
October, so it
championship.
was. Yeah, and yeah, that was I watched that. I pretty much watched. I don't watch NXT UK though, of course, but that's pretty much a lot of people sort of raved about that match. It's like, yep, I'm gonna check this out, and I was not disappointed. It was pretty great.
Yeah, I put it on screen.
But yeah, like I said, it's just one of those things. Sports that does need a crowd though,
Yeah.
because sometimes watching a match, even though sometimes it might be a great match though, but without a crowd reaction though, it just doesn't hit that next level
Mhm.
that makes it that much more of a special match now, and therefore it sort of suffers a bit because of it.
Okay.
And like like in New Japan now, like I said, I watched Wrestle Kingdom, and those some of the matches there were great now. But the fact is, like they're only able to clap or like stamp their feet now. They're not able to like shout now or chant or anything like that
Mhm.
now. What they usually be able to
Yeah, they
do.
probably tell them to, not
Yeah, like
talk.
that's the thing. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's just like they have their masks and they're only able to like clap or like stamp their feet or anything like that now. But they can't like they
Okay.
can't shout. And I'm curious if like if yeah, but I'm curious if it's going to be the same here in WWE. Probably not. They'll probably be like just shout to your heart's content, even though we're doing
Well, if it's a
social
stadium, if it's a
distancing.
stadium compared to a closed arena, closed space, like the Tokyo Dome is closed up, so
Yeah, it's a closed stadium.
But if
Yeah,
it's an
so but
open
this is an
stadium, I
open.
don't think there's any danger
Yeah,
in that.
it'd be a lot more safe
Hmm.
because it's out in the open
Yeah.
rather than like yeah like in a closed stadium like that. There, yeah,
So,
and it's the same. Yeah, the same thing. Yeah, same with Daly's place. Like
yeah,
it's an outside sort
it's an
of
outside
stadium kind of setting.
extension of
Yeah,
the Jaguars.
yeah, yeah. And therefore people shouting, cheer and stuff like that there now as well. But if it was like, in a more close set, then,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, it'd have to be a bit more safety, of course.
Yeah,
Have you been watching any like wrestling, like any AEW, or just following
I just
along online and
follow.
stuff like that?
I don't have time to sit around and watch a 2 3 hour show every week. Well, not every week. I mean, if I were to watch Raw and SmackDown and AEW, and that's like 7 hours of wrestling per week, and I kind of don't have time for that. So I don't really watch any of it. I just watch recaps, and if a match is, people are saying, "Oh, you should watch this match," and I'll, get out of my way to watch, like Cesaro and is it what Cesaro Daniel Bryan? I think.
Yeah, the Gallows match I heard was very
Yeah.
good. I need to go and watch. I heard it was a great match. Kenny Omega versus Phoenix from a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like I watched Full Gear, the last AEW pay per view, apart from the main event,
Mhm.
and I watched the Dynamite there at the start of December where Kenny Omega won the world title, and that's like the last sort of full show. Well, that's the last full Dynamite I've watched now, and it was like the first. I was the first full Dynamite I watched in months
Okay.
because I don't know when the last one I watched before that now. But like I follow it though along line anyway. Though it's not like a complete drop off the face of the earth now. But like I follow it along and see what certain stories are happening, stuff like that.
Yeah, I watch the WWE pay-per-views because they're quote unquote free with the network. So I don't want to, AEW pay-per-views. I don't want to pay $50 to $60 to watch a pay-per-view like I used to back in the day. So I just don't watch them, and I just watch recaps and stuff, or you know. So I know there's illegal ways to watch it, but I don't. I don't do that anymore. So let me check if we can.
You don't partake in that. You don't partake
Yeah,
in
I
that
don't
stuff
partake in that.
anymore.
Let me see if I can find Cesaro Daniel Bryan thing here. We can put on while we.
It's probably on the W YouTube page though, because they tend to have the clip of the match on there. So they do. That's what they do
Yeah,
anyway on the
I found it. I put it up the.
YouTube page. Yeah, I heard it's very good though. Anyway, but like I said, like I don't watch Mac. Like the only times I've watched the shows are when I was there live.
Mhm.
Like the last Raw I watched was the Raw after the Royal Rumble there last year
Mhm.
because I was there in the stadium with that great angle with Randy Orton and Edge where he RKO'd him and then hit him with like the concerto.
Yeah.
Pretty much that was great. And then that was the last Raw show I've watched, and the last SmackDown one I watched was the one I was in November there the year before that with the one that was taped over here, which was pretty bad.
Mhm.
I didn't particularly enjoy those shows I was at in the UK.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the best part of that trip was meeting Becky Lynch for the first time.
Mhm. I mean, yeah, the whole lockdown, COVID era wrestling is going to be a weird fucking thing to look back on in a couple of years.
Like yeah, like the thing was, I was so pumped. Like at the end of February last year, I did tweet that when it was starting to get a bit more serious. I did tweet saying
Mhm.
I feel this COVID thing's gonna impact my trip to WrestleMania, and it did.
Yeah.
Cause I had a busy I had a lot of like busy stuff. Like I had the end of like I was going to OTT Scrappermania 6, which is the Irish promotion here in
Hmm.
Ireland. Like it's one of their big shows of the year. I was going to go to it in over St Patrick's Day weekend. Then at the start of the end of the month, end of March, I think it was 30th, I think 31st. I forget which day. That's when I was going to head to Florida for WrestleMania weekend, and then I was going to NXT Takeover Dublin, UK Dublin. I was going to be at the near the end of April in Dublin, and then I was going to go to a concert with M Temptation and Evanescence in Glasgow, the day after,
Yeah.
and all of that got cancelled.
Yep.
I was like, damn. Like I was gonna be a busy period for me though with all that stuff, and I was gonna be so pumped. I was gonna be so great, but unfortunately, got cancelled. The Takeover UK was still technically supposed to happen. It got delayed till June now, and the same goes with the concert. It's still tend to happen. It got delayed to this September,
Well,
and
you never know. September
I would hope, yeah,
it
I would
could
hope
go.
September, yeah. I'm not sure about June, but September though, I'm a bit optimistic that I can go to it though,
Hmm.
because I really would like to go to a show
It could still
or a
happen. I
concert.
mean, June, July, August, maybe stuff will be back to semi-normal. I'm not saying 100%, but you know, semi-normal stuff probably is gonna be we're gonna be back to semi-normal normality. So we'll see. I'm not saying shows are gonna start up again, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm a bit more optimistic anyway,
Yeah.
but we'll just have to wait and see.
So predictions. Thank you to everybody who's joining us, by the way, in the chat and everything. Very much appreciated. If you have a question or anything you want to say, go ahead. Um, so yeah, I mean, who do you expect? Like staying with wrestling, but everything changing gears a bit. Who do you expect is going to win the Royal Rumble this year? Who's the big guy? Who's going to win?
I don't, to be honest, I don't really know who's gonna win it.
I'm thinking what
Like
WWE will
people
do.
were
I,
like,
who do you think?
go ahead, no,
No,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
go ahead.
You go ahead.
Like people would want the Big E to win it, but I honestly don't think it should be there because he hasn't been that like currently the Intercontinental Champion, and he hasn't been kind of been pushed
Hmm.
to be the guy to win it though. And I just feel like even if he did to win it though, I'd be like, yeah, it's great and all, but it just felt like it would come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
And also, like people are thinking it's going to be Daniel Bryan,
that's my thought.
which would be cool as well. Right the wrongs of 6 years ago, or no, 7 years ago at this point actually,
Well,
or it's 6 and 7 years
he
ago.
has heat with Roman though, and with Jey Uso also.
Yeah,
So
like that's the only thing, and if that's the case, then it'd be like, yeah, goody. I'll actually be a pretty long term story by WWE standards if that's the
hmm.
case.
But I'm thinking, he's been talking about it's his last run, and he's close to being done with wrestling and everything. So I'm guessing they give him a shot at Roman. He wins the title, goes on a little run probably, and by maybe SummerSlam or Survivor Series, he loses the belt or something. So
Yeah, I'd suspect that there because I don't think that whole Rock versus Roman thing is not
no,
gonna
that's not
happen
gonna happen,
anytime
dude.
soon.
No, no, no.
Although I yeah, and even if it was to happen in the for the Los Angeles, the Inglewood sort of WrestleMania in 2023, like Rock's gonna be like nearly 51 at that
Yeah,
point.
exactly. That's gonna be in 2 years from now, so
Yeah,
I don't think Rock is gonna want to come back. He has his movie career, he has his tequila, he has his. Everything's going well for him.
He has his Young Rock show.
Yeah, Young Rock. Yeah, and his daughter is
I
in
saw the
WWE.
saw
So.
saw yeah, I saw the trailer for that there.
Young
That
Rock.
looked
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, saw it
we'll
on
put it on now.
his Twitter there.
There's probably something up here.
Yeah, he did he tweeted about it there. I think yesterday probably, and I just saw the like it's like a short 30-second trailer, so it is of it there. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like that's that. Like Daniel Bryan seems to be the only case there. But to be honest, though, like when I went to the Royal Rumble last year, now like to be honest, I didn't really expect Drew to win though. Like he was one of those ones I didn't really like. I didn't really know who was going to win it last year, to be honest.
Hmm.
But partly, it was around the time of the day of that a lot of bets came in for Drew to win it. Then like he became like the favorite to win it. But like I didn't really know who was going to win the men's Royal Rumble. But I was glad for it though. It was great to see it. Fortunately, he didn't get his big moment in front of a crowd though.
Yeah,
He did in front of absolutely zero people.
absolutely no, nothing, nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. And like the women's one last year, like I thought Shayna was gonna win that. So it did. Like she seemed to be the one who was gonna win it though, and then I think it was the last minute as well. It seemed that Charlotte win that then,
hmm
and then went to beat Rhea Ripley, which pretty much 90% of the wrestling audience thought it was a bad booking decision.
Yep,
And Rhea Ripley has never been the same
yep. It
since.
was horrible.
And I am one of those people. I think she has been very heavily damaged by that loss at WrestleMania.
Yep. And that's where people started hating Charlotte. So
Oh no, they've hated her. No, they didn't.
yeah,
They've hated her. Some people have hated her long before that now.
but now the hate you see was even more present after that, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like, this is the thing now. Like, there's people, like, because I don't follow her on Twitter or anything now, but she did come out and say something in response to an article that was about her now.
hmm
And the thing is, though, like, I think Charlotte's a great wrestler, though. The problem people I feel, have with her is the fact she's over pushed.
yeah,
So she always has to be sort of around the title picture every single time. And that is true to an extent. She tends to be.
hmm
Maybe not sometimes she might be somewhere else, but usually she's around the title picture.
yeah,
The fact of the matter is, as well, is like she went away there for a lot of months after she lost the NXT title,
hmm
and that there she came back and immediately won the women's tag team champion with Asuka,
yep,
completely negating the whole thing with Lana. And like I'm not the biggest fan of Lana, but that whole build, that story, that silly thing that they were doing was sort of to lead to a big moment, her and Asuka winning the tag team titles. But like WWE tend to do
hmm
on a regular occurrence is basically just drop storylines, just drop bookings things and the drop of a dime and just completely go elsewhere.
yeah,
And that was the case with that their whole
because
thing.
the big star is coming
And
back, and
yeah, like that didn't make sense. Like Charlotte coming back, winning the tag team titles with Asuka, who's like a kind of a rival of hers. Like that didn't make sense
yeah,
whatsoever. It's once again just two people just randomly tag team together to become champions.
yeah. And when they have
It's
they
just
actually have tag teams, they break them
they
up.
split them up. They split up the
Yeah,
Iconics. Peyton's going nowhere. At least Billy is doing something on SmackDown with the Riot Squad at the moment, but Peyton's pretty much nowhere. Lacey's in this flipping kind of storyline at the moment with Charlotte, which is like okay,
yeah. Out of nowhere
and
again.
Asuka's nowhere to be found, and she's the women's champion.
Yep, exactly.
Like I can go on a flipping rant of how poorly booked Asuka's been, how poorly booked Asuka has been
Yep.
booked, how Asuka's been poorly booked over the last few months. But I'll leave it there. Like she has been poorly booked. She hasn't she's like the last sort of proper meaningful stuff she's been in was with Sasha and Bailey over the summer, and that was it.
Yeah.
Like ever since then, she had like a match with Mickey James. She had a match with Selena Vega on pay per view. She had two matches with Lana that lasted like all of about a few minutes each,
Hmm.
and that's it.
Yep.
And she hasn't really been in anything since in terms of like a singles program.
Yeah.
And now she's going to face Alexa Bliss tomorrow. And was that going to lead to a Royal Rumble match? Probably.
Probably. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
And she hasn't wrestled a match since November. Apparently, Alexa Bliss. So
Are they actually going to wrestle, or is something going to happen with the Fiend? Who knows?
no, they have a match. Well, it's previewed for Raw tomorrow, so it
Okay.
is. So yeah, they'll have a match, and don't know if Randy's going to interfere or it's just going to end in a screwy finish because that's what WWE tend to do nowadays.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, it's kind of weird that their women's champions are not featured as much. Especially Asuka. Who's supposed to be the Asuka in NXT, way different from the Asuka in WWE, like way different.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely.
So, she's become like a cartoon character now, always dancing and just goofing around and everything. So it's good, it's fun, it's funny and everything, but I don't know. That's not Asuka. So I don't know. They should bill her, put her as a monster, an indestructible monster that nobody can.
But that was the thing they did do that where like last year though, like that was the thing with Becky.
Hmm.
Becky won that last death against Asuka, and like Becky was the one sort of trying to kind of meet her again, because Asuka she never beat Asuka, and then she finally beat Asuka, and that was like kind of like that whole story with that whole little story with her and Asuka was kind of you know had sort of elements of the old Asuka, so it did
Hmm.
from NXT, but kind of ever since she became like the but I like the thing I love Asuka though. She's like one of my favorites in WWE though, so I'm a bit biased of course. I do like the whole dancing thing. And she carried those shows though for a time though during like the start of the pandemic though,
Hmm.
because most people were like, God, these shows are horrible, but Asuka's entertaining. That's what I pretty much heard, and like want people like Selena Vega as well. But
Yeah.
other than that, it's like some people, most of the people are just saying, God, these shows are horrible to watch because there's no crowd.
Hmm. Exactly. Yeah. But I don't know. It's a weird thing what they're doing with their talent and everything. Some talent, just not getting a push, and some just starting to get a, I guess, push, quote unquote. Like Shinsuke coming back to original Shinsuke, and Cesaro kind of getting a little push too. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with those guys. Of course, they.
That guy should get a push long time ago though.
Yeah.
But like of course, like WWE is not. It's not going to be. You can't have like 5, 10 people now on the top now being like the big stars. But there is a time and place that certain people should get a chance at least. So
Yeah, they don't have a
like
mid card belt like they used to back in the day. Like Intercontinental doesn't mean anything like it did back in the day.
oh no,
So if they would put that belt back to what it meant, like if you get the belt and you perform well, you get a shot at the big belt. So if you don't perform well, you go back to you go back down, and that's how it is. So they don't have a secondary belt that's entertaining enough to keep people's attention. So that's why that you have a bunch of guys. You have a couple of top guys, and you have like all the rest. Everything below. So there's no like tiers or anything. So it's kind of bad. Um,
who you think's going to win the women's Royal Rumble?
oh, that one's tougher. Women's. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Lana came back and won. for
Oh,
Royal Rumble?
jeez. She hasn't been on Raw ever since she got attacked, hasn't she now?
No, she hasn't.
No.
I was gonna say Becky, but it hasn't been long enough. Hasn't been long
I'd be
enough.
surprised. I'd be surprised, to be honest, though. It'd be good to see her, though, but I'd be surprised if she's back by Rumble.
Yeah,
I don't see
she's
her
been out for
coming
what
back
now? Nine
until
months? 11 months? 10 months?
no
8 months.
months
Yeah, that's
last
not
week.
enough. That's not enough. She's not gonna return at Royal Rumble. It would be like the biggest surprise ever, but I don't think she will.
Thing is, though, that Raw division, women's division, fucking desperately needs her, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep, for
That's the
sure.
thing.
I don't know who's gonna win the Rumble. I really don't know. Besides Lana, who can you see amongst all those women? Who can you see winning the thing?
Well, people are speculating it's either Bailey or Bianca Belair,
Yeah, Bianca Belair would be cool. Bianca Belair would be
and I think they're the only two I can see that actually can win it. Because who else is there?
exactly. Who else is there? You know, it's like, man.
Like that Lana one, like you suggested, though. I wouldn't, I wouldn't fucking be surprised if they did something like that there now. Considering what they did at the Survivor Series, which,
Oh, that was so stupid.
like, if that was a way to actually try and get her over, though, they completely failed. Like, I don't know if that was their intent, where she practically did
Yeah,
nothing and everyone else got eliminated, and she was the sole survivor because of stupid double count out at the
yeah.
end.
And the funny thing that
That
Botchamania
just,
does now, it's like the whole Mario party thing, where she just
oh
stands in
yeah,
the
that
corner,
clip.
doesn't move, and always wins.
Yeah, yeah, that was that. Yeah, that was that. Pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that was horrible. That was horrible. Horrible. And she just disappeared without any rhyme or reason to the whole thing. And then Charlotte came in. I don't know. It's
No, they got attacked. She got attacked the week before, and then she was like out. Let's say, oh, she's out now. She's out with like, quote unquote injury.
mhm.
She's not gonna make it to the match. Basically, and that was the reason to get Charlotte back in there.
Was it a real injury or was it a
Nah, it's
kayfabe?
just to get Charlotte back in.
Okay.
It's just a wee fake injury, just to get Charlotte back in that picture, though.
But that's insane. You build you.
Pretty much, like, once people find out she's gone, it's going to be a mystery partner. Pretty much everyone is
Of
expected as
course.
Charlotte.
Yeah. But it's dumb. You build, you build, you build, you build. That thing with Lana, and then boom, stop it right away because Charlotte's coming back. That's crazy. That's insane.
Like, people did speculate, and I do think this is true to an extent, that the whole thing putting her through tables like week after week was pretty much punishment for Miro
Yeah, I think so.
on AEW.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be like, that's WWE, though. They tend to be petty like that sometimes.
Yeah, of course they do.
They really
Of course
they
they
really
do.
do.
That's Vince McMahon. So
Petty is his middle name.
exactly, and I think Triple H has a little bit to do in that too. So yeah, exactly. So you know that with Gallows and Anderson, the whole what they said on BTE. We were in New York and it drove us crazy or something like that.
I haven't watched BT in
Oh
ages.
really? Okay.
Oh yeah, speaking of, actually realised now, flipping, no, not the Dynamite of Kenny Omega winning the title. That wasn't the last one I watched. I completely fucking I could have forget the fucking, probably one of the best tribute shows ever.
Oh yeah.
The
Yeah, of course.
Brody Lee one. That's the last one I watched.
Yeah.
Like, that came out of the blue, but when I saw that on Twitter there last month,
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Holy
because I
crap.
was at work when it happened. Like, I was at work and I just tend to sometimes like kind of skive off
Mhm.
a bit and just go on Twitter and see what's happening. And I just seen like a tweet regarding it, and I was like, "Holy shit, Brody Lee's dead!"
Yeah.
I was like, I was just completely. That was. I don't think I've ever felt that shocked about a death since probably
Since Chris Benoit.
why Crispin already a girl.
Yeah.
Like that's the last time just a death like that just came out of nowhere. Like I still remember what I was doing when I found out Crispin Benoit. Like I was playing Gears of War multiplayer, and you messaged me. The message popped up on the on when I was playing it and said Crispin Benoit is dead. I remember that vividly,
Hmm.
and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And then I watched the tribute show that night,
Yep. Not
and
knowing
then
anything.
not knowing, and then the day after, boom,
Yep.
everything came out. I was like, "Oh, that's great."
Mm.
I watched that tribute show and it was great and all, and then fucking completely, everything was completely ruined. Then the next day when he found out, oh, he killed his wife and son and
Yeah.
killed himself,
And then you go, oh
and
no,
yeah,
why? But yeah,
yeah,
it's the John Huber thing was really good. That was a great tribute show. It was really good.
yeah. Did you watch it then? Did you?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah, pretty much watched it in its entirety. So
Yeah, like there were two places I kind of sort of I did cry though. Was like the part where when Eric Rowan and I came
oh
out
yeah,
and they started bawling, and then pretty much like the end with the son, and then the tribute video. That's kind of
yep,
the 2 points I kind of lost it.
yeah. The whole Anna J too thing too when she stands up and does the claw thing.
Yeah, the symbol. Yeah,
Yeah, and she just fucking breaks down.
yeah. Like I was just like, this is a real gut punch though today
Yeah,
in that group though because of that what happened.
exactly. And
Because that was the thing. Like he had the dog collar match with Cody there. That was his last match in like October, and he was just gone though.
yeah,
And I would expect, oh, he's just going to be off for a while, just to sort of
taking time off or something, you know.
yeah, take a bit of time off, just sort of how like like he probably got beat to death, or like beaten brutally in that match or whatever, and just sort of
Mm.
keep the sort that there. Just, you keep that sort of thing alive, and then you come back. I assume you probably might have come back during that Winter's Coming show, maybe,
Yeah,
or around that time, and then nope, didn't happen, and then it just came out that I think shortly after that last match he had that he started like he had exercise, he was doing exercise or something, and he felt like he was getting out of breath a lot quicker than before, and then he found out there was some problem with his lungs,
hmm,
and then that's sort of what happened then, and like then basically his wife told the talent and all that there at AEW just to keep it hush hush. And tell you one thing, Fur fucking played every single one of them though, because no one knew. No one
yep,
came out and said, okay, just someone said to one of the people, okay, by the way,
hmm,
so and so, like she has something's wrong with Brody or anything, that just never did though. So
yeah. Nobody said
I'm sure
anything. It
like
was like, jeez.
yeah, like I just you gotta commend them for that, to respect them for
Yep,
keeping true to their word because of that.
exactly. Yeah,
Because, but I think because the fact is though that a lot, like I think everyone there respected him though, because like when you see the outpouring that guy got when that guy got after everyone found out he died,
hmm,
I've never seen it before.
yep, yeah. That's crazy.
Because
It went on for
like the
weeks and
last
weeks
big
and weeks after.
yeah like the last big like Macho Man died when Twitter was about, but it wasn't like as big. Like it was still kind of in its infancy though. I didn't know that was 2011 though,
Hmm.
but that was like the sort of last kind of probably biggish, or maybe Ultimate Wire. But you weren't going to get an outpouring of support for Ultimate Wire now.
Yeah, no, exactly,
That's for damn sure,
exactly.
because the amount of stuff that he said over the years,
Yep.
I don't think a lot of people are going to say a lot of nice things about him now. Um, and like Rajamal, like he died in 2011 of the heart attack. But the thing is, like Benoit died in 2007. Like Twitter was around, but it was pretty much not too long after it existed. And like Eddie and Owen Hart and all those ones, they died before social media became a thing.
Yep.
Was a thing.
Exactly.
And I'm sure if Owen Hart died around this time, I'm pretty sure he would have probably gotten that big support like
Oh yeah.
John Hero, because even though it was a lot, lot smaller thing though, but you hear the amount of people talk about Owen, how he was pretty much kind of the same person. He was a very well liked, well respected guy. He loved his family and stuff like that there.
Yep.
And it just seemed that that was pretty much the same with John Hero, John Brody Lee.
Yep.
He loved his family, and he like basically him like after his show he just drive home like several hours to just be there at breakfast with them and stuff like that there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy how the whole thing happened. It's really insane. Just knowing, just coming out of nowhere. Just like, my God, what the hell. So.
Because it was just a bit of a damper at the end. Like it was like, geez Louise, already this was a shit year, and this had to come up at the end of it.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, it was a big shocker to everybody. Uh, what happened, and I mean, you never expect things to, he was young and everything, and you don't expect people that young to go. That,
He's the same age as my brother. Well, he's exactly 6 months younger than my brother,
okay.
my oldest brother. Because my brother's 41. He was born the 16th of June, and Brody Lee was born the 16th of December.
Mhm.
So exactly 6 months younger.
Yeah, he died not long after his birthday, actually.
He died the day after.
The day after?
He died in Boxing Day,
Damn,
the day after Christmas.
that's crazy. That is crazy. Well, yeah. Anything else to say about wrestling? Do we continue with?
No, I think I talked long enough though.
Yeah,
I think we should get into some video games.
games.
Usually around this time of year we tend to do a top 10,
Favorite
and
games of the
we're not
year.
going to do that now because I didn't really play like a ton of games that came out last year now, and some of the ones I played that were like I couldn't really put in like a top 10 or anyway though. I'm not really going to do it. Like I did put like my top 5 on Twitter though anyway, so if you follow me on Twitter then I have it there pretty
Mhm.
much. But I'll probably just talk about some of the games I've played like recently over the last month or so, and some of my favorite games of 2020 though.
Mhm.
But I'll let you go first though, whatever you want to talk about, because I think I've been talking way too much in this podcast already. So go
Oh
ahead.
man. Well, I don't know if I even thought of constructing a top five favorite games of last year, and I guess my top two. I don't know which one I'd put first, and some people are probably gonna you're probably gonna say I'm crazy or something like that. But I would put Cyberpunk 2077 in my top two favorite games of the year.
Oh boy, that's another flippin' big ass story that came out at the end of last year.
Yeah,
The shitstorm that came out of that.
yeah, that was pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, I played it, I finished it. Um, and I mean, I didn't hate it. I actually really enjoyed uh, what I played of it, and I liked it. I know people are gonna go, man, how did you play through that game with all the bugs and all the garbage and everything? And I mean, I never had a game crash the entire time. I never crashed once when I was playing it. Um, of course, there are bugs. I mean, sometimes I'd take out my gun and wouldn't fire, or I couldn't fire down sights, or my gun would not be there when I took it out. or you know, I'd get caught between if I were to jump over a wall, like a waist high wall, I just get stuck there. I have to reload a previous save or something like that. But yeah, it's an annoyance, of course it is. But I mean, it's some would say it's game breaking. I don't know. I I wouldn't say it's game breaking, to be honest. I mean, I could still reload my game and play from where I was. So I don't know. I really enjoyed it. So I
That's the thing. Look, I was really looking forward to that game when I first saw footage of it. Like, and here, like I said, oh, this is gonna be great though. But when it got delayed a few times, kind of like I felt like the excitement of that game for me just got less and less.
hmm
Because to me, so it's like not like some people say, oh, like sure, go ahead with delays and not there. Like it's not always the case there where a game gets delayed several times and ends up being good. Like sometimes a game does get delayed several times and ends up being ends up still being pretty bad or pretty mediocre or pretty messy or something
hmm
along those lines. And the thing is, so this game got delayed 3 times in the same year.
Yeah.
And even when I thought it was going to be released, though, I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be released now in November, 10th of no, 7th, I think 19th of November, I think it was, or 17th of November. It's gone gold. Okay, that's it. It's gone gold now. It's going to be released on that day, and then I found out it was delayed again. And I did not notice, but when I originally thought if a game goes gold, that means okay, that's the date it's set now. It's set in stone.
hmm
But apparently it's not. But it's just done now. Then like it's like it can go through certification then, but it still can be delayed. But that's the first example I've seen where that's been the case where a game has gone gold but it got delayed still. Whereas every time I see a game before where a game gone gold, it ends up usually that game comes out that specific date then.
hmm
And then when it did come out and I seen the reviews, it was pretty much a lot of some people still thought it was a great game despite the bugs. And there's people say this is a pretty messy game and probably best to wait for fixes and for it to be in a bit more of a good better state to
hmm
play. And then there's last generation ones now pretty much with did you see the videos of it?
Yeah. I did. Yeah.
Of the complete another
hmm
mess they looked, where the frame rate was just really bad
Yep.
and the quality it took forever for certain things to show and pop up or like get
I'm running some
textures or
cyberpunk
even
bugs right now on the Twitch the Twitch channel.
yeah like that's just it's gonna be completely ridiculous. So
hmm
and like just the amount of like stuff like that just came and it's like the whole stuff just like there tends to be maybe once a year or once every couple of years there tends to be that big game that comes out and just a lot of people are looking forward to comes out and just gets completely blown up because of what happened. Like a few years ago was Fallout 76
hmm
when it got released and the bugs and that there came out, and now this year especially it's Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
And I expected more from CD Projekt Red because this. I thought it was not good. This was not going to be the case now because, like, they tend to have a sort of good pedigree. Like Witcher 3 came out and it wasn't perfect either.
No, there were
Like
some
it
problems
wasn't
with
like
Witcher 3 when it came.
it was problems when it came out as
Yep.
well, but not to the extent of
No,
Cyberpunk
no, no,
2077 now.
no.
Like like people thought that game was spectacular though, even though like some people didn't like the combat, some people didn't like the movement and stuff like that for Witcher, but most of those were those things there, and there might have been like a few bugs here and there, but it wasn't like to the extent of Cyberpunk 2077.
hmm Yeah, I know.
Um,
But I mean, it's an open world game, first of all. So those are always going to have problems with them. Um,
Yeah, it's like a first person one. It's open world, like on the lines of like a Bethesda game, for
yeah,
example, like a Fallout, like an Elder Scrolls game. So it's something along those lines.
exactly. And I mean, if some of the bugs that we're seeing right now on the screen, I've had like people getting caught in geometry and floating objects, and I've had that, like cars flying out of nowhere just to hit you, and I've had those things. But to me, yeah, it's not a perfect game, but it doesn't break the game. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even if you have a car flying at you or you're somebody's holding a gun backwards or whatever, it's that's for me is not broken. Those are bugs, but it's not broken. You know?
No, like to me that kind of stuff doesn't really bother me in games.
No.
So like the things that kind of bother me, and I've encountered like things like this now in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I'll talk about soon enough. Sometimes where you go to a certain point and like you say, okay, I have to go to this point here now and like activate this mission or activate this item or something,
Hmm.
and there's no prompt to show up, and you have to reload the save for it to show up again. That's the kind of stuff that annoys me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, like that kind of stuff. Like that's happened with me in Valhalla, where I go up to a person. Okay, I have to talk to this person to activate this quest or like do this little thing, and usually like it says speak to him, but the thing it doesn't show up, and like it's kind of, and then I have to reload it for it to show up or reload it for him to do the action or whatever though.
Hmm.
And that's the sort of stuff that annoys me though
Yeah.
sometimes.
Sometimes that'll
And
happen. I mean,
that's
it happened to me a couple of times because I did everything well, almost everything in that game, and I mean, you're gonna see a lot of shit when you go around and do the same, missions over and over again. Like, there's a lot of same missions they call jobs that you have to do for people or gigs or stuff like that. It's the same thing over and over again, and you'll see like crazy stuff like I don't know, you get caught in a door or your car blows up next to you and you die or stuff like that. It's stuff like that happen. So that's why I used to save each and every time. You could quick save before going into the mission, so I always quick saved and went into my mission and did my mission. Sometimes it wouldn't work, sometimes it would work. So I don't know. I enjoyed the game. It needs work for sure, and the console versions are completely broken. Like I've seen footage of that, and it's completely broken. Like really broken, like 20 frames per second, and absolute garbage. But it runs really well on PC though, so I have nothing to.
Yeah, and people are pissed off as well. Like the fact is, like the CD Project Red have come out like several times since and issued apologies and stuff like that. Now, like I don't know, did you watch the video of the co-founder with his video?
Yeah, his apology video from this week. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Like some of them, like I like some of them that said laugh the fact, like he did say about the we didn't see this stuff and all that there. Like kind of like in a way, like you're kind of throwing the testing team under the bus because of
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Because I'm pretty sure the testing team, the QA team, and all that there did see these bugs, see
Oh
these
yeah, of
things, and
course they
said, well,
did.
this
Of
this
course they
this
did.
has to be delayed again until this stuff is fixed there. But no, just because it got delayed several times, we have to make it in this quarter.
Yeah.
We have to get like all these pre-orders and stuff like that there, get it out. As like the
We need
heads
to
and
get
all
it out
like
for Christmas and let's go.
yeah, the investors and stuff like that there, like the corporate side of things, the management side of things wanting to get out and sell a boatload, and it did sell a boatload, and but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who were very pissed off. Like imagine someone getting this for Christmas on their Xbox One or PS4 now, and you know and not playing that version of it.
Yeah.
They'll be just so pissed off. Like this is what I got for Christmas. I'm so annoyed.
Hmm.
and like they were just so disappointed with this game because of it. Though
Yeah,
now,
of course.
like I'm going to get the game, of course. I'm not not gonna bother getting the game, but I'm gonna get it when it's like I'll wait for the sort of Game of the Year edition, whenever that may
Mm.
be. Probably when the next gen upgrades are into it though, which is like apparently not going to be until like the second half of the year. So it'll probably be sometime then that I'll get around to playing it though, because I still do want to play it, but
Yeah,
just not at the moment.
yeah, I can understand that. Um, but yeah, I would wait for the first major patch, I think, because now they've just been like tiny patches,
Yeah, hot fixes
hot
and then
fixes
like the
and
big
stuff. But
patch. I think this week apparently
yeah,
it's over the next. It's supposed to be this week or soon anyway, and then the next big patch is for next month.
yeah, I think the first major patch that's going to come out should fix a bunch of things for that game. And but yeah, I really enjoyed it. To be honest with you, I liked what I played of it. The story is really great. Like it's fantastic, and the characters are mostly fun and entertaining. Like there, of course, Keanu Reeves is in it, so he's pretty cool. And
I heard he's in it like a lot as well. He's not like in a just like a
oh yeah,
bit role
no,
or
he's
anything like
he's
that.
in it a lot. There's a reason for that, but yeah, he's in it a lot. So I mean, it's not just oh, I'm here 2 seconds and I'm disappearing and you're not going to see me until the end or something. No, he's in it pretty much all the time. I would say, almost constantly. So um, yeah, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the characters. Um, and it's if it were as polished as The Witcher 3, it would have been a fantastic video game. Like that game would be there would be a ton of people playing that game right now, for sure. Instead of, having an 87% drop on I think it was Steam. Like
I think it was 79% I read.
79? Okay.
Yeah, but it was a big drop anyway, though. I know
Yeah.
that for sure.
Like 79% of people stopped playing that game. So,
Done like on Steam now. I expect that's on Steam now.
yeah.
I'm not sure where else though. Like consoles and
I got it on
PlayStation
GOG,
2.
so, I wasn't on Steam. My nephew got it too, and he finished it too. So, and he never ever finishes RPGs. Like he's more of a shooter type of guy.
What did he play it on?
He played on PC also.
Oh, okay.
So, because I gave him my old PC, which is still pretty good,
Okay.
to play games. So, um, he played it on my PC and he really liked it. So, if he, the type of guy who doesn't really play RPGs, liked it, I'm thinking, it's a really good game, which it is. So, I'd say wait for the big patch to come out and you should see a very good game. I think people will start playing it and enjoy it, and who knows when the console versions will be repaired, but we'll just have to wait and see for that one. But yeah, it's one of my favorite games of the year for sure. I don't know if I would place it first before Ghost of Tsushima, but it's really really good. I really enjoyed it a lot.
If there was one game from last year that I regret not playing more of, it's that one.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I played probably about 10, 15 hours of it. I did the first act.
Mhm.
I just started the second act and I did not touch it. I just dropped it and just did not go back to it whatsoever. And probably I can't remember why.
Mhm.
Because I was really enjoying that game. I thought it was fucking beautiful to look at. It has probably the best photo mode in any video game. That I really like photo modes in games,
Mhm.
and the more photo modes in games, the better. I just think it's been great that like the last generation, especially, that more games have put in photo modes,
Yeah.
and just the so very various options you can do in that game to create just these cool ass photos. Just made that like I just love that photo mode, and I just think it was a great game for what I played of it though. But I just said dropped I just stopped playing it
Yeah,
though
it's
for
a fantastic game. I never finished it.
no.
Like I never went back to it and finished it, but uh,
Oh, you never finished it either.
no,
I thought you
I
did.
was doing everything in that game, and at one point I was like, okay, well, I'm taking a little break, and finding my little break ended up not being me not going back to it. So
Yeah, like that's probably what I think as well. I think I say, okay, I played enough of this already. I'm just going to take a bit of a break because I was pretty much doing a lot of the stuff as
hmm
well. I said I'm going to take a break. I'm just going to play something else. I don't know what I was playing then, and then I just never went back to it
yeah,
because it just sometimes you just okay. I'm going to take a break from a game here. And I'm going to go back to it eventually, but then you just never in that mood then to go back to it.
yeah. That's what
Like,
I felt with Ghost of Tsushima. I was like, I should play this, and then I was like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it.
but but it's like it's not like it's a lot of people's favorite game of the year. So it is like it got a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of game recognition though, which is that's great
yep.
though. Definitely got to say that because it is a great game though. From what 10, 15 hours I played of it
It is
though.
very good. It's
Uh,
very beautiful, and
yeah,
I played it in 4K, so
yeah. So I'm sure it's absolutely
oh yeah, it's
fantastic.
a
Did you
gorgeous game.
you have the PS4 Pro, don't
Yeah, I
you?
have the Pro. Yeah.
So is it 60 frames for you then?
Uh, I don't.
Or no, is there? I don't know. Is it?
It's 30
No, I don't know. If
frames,
there's.
but you have, if you put 30 frames, you have the whole, the what they call it, the reflections and the whole thing. Because if you put
Ray
it 60
tracing kind of.
frames, it kind of loses its.
Yeah, but there is an option for that though in the Pro, isn't there?
Yeah, I think there's balanced and there's like performance
Yeah,
and
yeah. Performances like this, yeah, balance, yeah, and then yeah, usually the Pro when you have the Pro it has like those different
I played
versions.
balanced, but it still ran. I would say it wasn't 30, it was probably 40, 50. It wasn't 60. It wasn't the way it would run on a PC, but it still
Yeah,
ran
but that's I say
well.
I seen videos of it like playing on the PS5 and it was pretty much 60 there, so it was.
Yeah, like I would once I get my PS5, who knows when the hell that will be, but when I get my PS5, I'll go back to it and finish it.
Cause that's what I'm feeling though. Like but I'll probably wait until I get a PS5. Like I said, whenever that may be. I'll definitely hopefully get one this year though,
hmm
and I probably will play it then.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like after playing Valhalla, I think I just prefer playing those kind of games in 60 frames.
hmm Yeah,
So do.
exactly. I think those games look better in 60 frames per second for sure. Uh,
Like even though I have played games like that in the past in 30 though, like I played something like God of War and like Sekiro and some of those action adventure games not there open world games like in 30 frames, but I think to be honest after spending like 80 hours in Odyssey, 2019,
mhm.
that kind of I think that's sort of has killed me now.
Yeah.
I just like I got Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the Xbox One because I was thinking of trying. I think it was because hoping to try to get an Xbox Series X that
hmm
day around anywhere around the time, but that like pretty much if you had unless you had a pre-order, you're pretty much shit out of luck. I did not. I was just gonna try to get have any luck and see if I can get one. Just walk into the store
hmm
and get one, but unfortunately did not. And I played because I thought it wasn't going to run great on my PC now because my PC is like 5 years
Yeah.
old. And I played it for about an hour on the Xbox One. I was like, I cannot play this, so it doesn't look great.
Yeah.
I just don't like playing it in this frame
And
rate.
you don't
And
have
I
a
went
4K
to the
TV, right?
no, I don't have a
Okay.
4K TV. And I just signed up for Uplay Plus, downloaded it there, and I tried the GeForce Now first of
hmm
all, played that way and said it was running 60 frames, but then I just said, you know what, I'm just going to see if it runs alright on just Uplay Plus, and it does. I have it in medium, everything's pretty much medium settings,
hmm
and for the most part it runs 60. It sometimes drops down to between 30 and 60 though, but majority of the time it's 60, and I can tolerate that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much why, like I said. But like otherwise, I was just gonna, because I was gonna try and get the Xbox Series X, because I know that version. If you play it on Valhalla on it runs 60 frames per second.
Hmm.
But I haven't got that though.
Yeah, but Ghost of Tsushima, fantastic game. Looks gorgeous. Story's pretty good. Characters are pretty good also. So very enjoyable romp, I guess, to play. I really liked it a bunch. Like I would.
People say that's a better Assassin's Creed game than Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I would say it. It's the first of that series, so we'll see where it goes from here. But yeah, for sure. Um, I've also played Miles Morales um, on PS5, which is more Spider-Man, I guess. But it's Miles Morales this time around. Uh, you know,
PS5.
PS4, sorry, PS4. Um,
I was gonna say, did you? I thought you. I thought you
no,
said you
no,
had
no,
a
I don't have a
PS5.
PS5. But yeah, it's Miles Morales is still Spider-Man. It's still the same gameplay, I guess you could say. Except Miles has his Venom powers, which is different. So yeah, I really enjoy playing that game. That's another one that I abandoned and didn't go back to it, um, which I should do, but I didn't. Once again, waiting for my PS5 to go back to it and finish it. So, but yeah, it's Spider-Man. It's with Miles Morales instead of Peter Parker. I think the story is pretty great. Um, Very different compared to what Peter Parker Spider-Man was for sure. But yeah, it's
Did you play any of the DLC for Spider-Man?
I played most of it. I think I didn't play the last one, but I played most of it.
Because I think some of the things, the stuff in it ties to Miles Morales now.
Oh, it does. Okay.
I believe it does, or if you, I believe it does now.
Okay.
Like certain characters are not there, I think show up in it.
Okay.
But like I could be wrong. But I believe if you want to get the whole out of it, the best to play. Like I never touched the DLC though, so if I were to
But I think there's a
play
version that
Miles
comes out
Morales,
that's
yeah, it's the sort of deluxe edition or whatever has the Spider-Man remastered.
yeah, and Miles Morales on.
I think yeah, because I never bought Spider-Man. I just rented it from Boomerang Games or whatever and played through it and got the platinum.
Okay.
That's why like I never bought the DLC or anything like that there, because I never actually owned. I never bought the game.
Okay. Well, yes, it's different because it's Miles. Story's different, but yeah, it's still very very good. Very much worth
I
it.
do want to play it though, kind of thanks to watching Into the Spider Verse there
Yeah.
last month.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Like I'm very late to that. I'm very late to that party now, but I finally got around to watching it, and it was a very good fucking film. I absolutely loved the look of that film is just a fucking visual treat for the
Hmm.
eyes.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous movie.
Just so beautiful, so absolutely gorgeous to look at. So it
Yep.
is. Like I would also, if fucking Miles Morales was in that, I know it has the suit from the
Hmm.
Into the
Yeah,
Spider
it
Verse,
is.
but
Yeah, there is.
if there was a game done in that style, I'd fucking buy it in a heartbeat.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean
And
that would make a very good game for sure. But this is pretty much into the Spider-Verse without the Spider-Verse, you know. So yeah, it's enjoyable. I'm waiting for the PS5 to finish it. haven't finished it, as I said. So yeah, that's another game I've been playing.
Have you been trying to get a PS5 or just like, waiting for it to become more
I'm
available?
trying. I'm on, I follow a bunch of sites and I'm on a bunch of lists and just waiting until something shows up to get it. So yeah,
Yeah,
waiting
I
for
haven't
that.
really been trying though because most of the time it's just like, okay, I go on Twitter and it's like, okay, it's in stock, but this is like, oh, a tweet from like an hour ago, so of course it's not going to be in
Yeah,
fucking
of course,
stock now.
yeah.
It's going to be completely sold out and stuff like that. And usually when you be there in time or something, it's like I was there like trying to get in certain few occasions there like early on, but like once you get in, it's like waiting, and then by the time you get through the queue, it's like pretty much gone.
Exactly.
And the thing that pisses me off about it is just the whole scalping business. So it's kind of been skyrocketing, I guess, because of the whole availability of the Xbox Series X and the
Yep,
PS5. Like COVID and all that stuff has had an effect on the stock availability. That's definite though.
exactly.
So it's not gonna. They're always going to have like millions and millions of them available now at launch.
Hmm.
But and still probably gonna be a while before they're readily available though. Which like that's probably when I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait until I can go into a store and it's like, okay, I see an Xbox Series X or PS5 available.
Hmm.
Okay, just pick it up and just buy it then rather than flipping just wasting my time trying to look for it online.
Yeah, yeah, same. I mean, I try to check the tweets as often as I can, but sometimes it's not easy. I mean, as you said, sometimes I'm working and there's a tweet that goes out and I can't really, you know, go there and get the PS5, so I'm gonna have to wait for more availability, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, like I'll get a PS Series X on like a 4K TV, and that's like pretty much over a grand there already.
Yeah. We have a question, but my nephew's in the chat. He was asking if you have a PS5, but you said that you don't have one yet.
No, I do not have a PS5,
Not yet. I think
but
everybody's
I'll
Axe has one,
yeah.
but he just got it recently, so he's one of the only people I know that have a PS5, to be honest.
Right.
So,
Well, I follow a bunch of people on Twitter now. Like I don't know any of them like personally now,
hmm.
but I've know a few people have got a PS5. But like some of them pretty much like they pre-ordered the PS5 and Xbox Series X, so that's how they got theirs. Although that's the thing as well, though some people pre-ordered those consoles, and the fact is they never got them either.
Hmm.
Like there's people who pre-ordered them, and I think some people like some of their pre-orders pretty much got outright stolen. Like delivery drivers are not there, probably swiped them as
Of
well and
course.
stuff like that, which I
Yeah,
just fucking sickens me.
of course. That's
That's why it sucks though sometimes when you pre like that's why I don't really tend to pre-order stuff that much anymore anyway, even like
yeah,
games and
same
stuff
here.
like that. I don't really tend to like either just buy them like shortly before they come out or just buy them digitally really.
Hmm.
That's tend to what I do nowadays anyway.
Yeah, same here. I didn't want to pre-order because I didn't know what was coming out, what I could get, and all that stuff. So I just wanted to wait a bit and see what would happen.
Yeah, like I didn't bother pre-ordering because I wasn't really into getting any of them though. But then like after they come out and all that there, and it's like because I kind of want to play Demon Souls, I kind of want to play Spider Man, but no, I can't.
Hmm.
You know, like that the thing for me is like it has to have that it has to have at least three games out for it that I want to get before I take the plunge. And even I could add Demon Souls, Spider Man, Miles Morales, and like I probably want to play like maybe Sackboy, but there is two of those games I could easily get on the PS4
Yeah.
anyway.
Hmm.
But I'd rather play them maybe on the PS5, like play Miles Morales, especially it'll be like like either play it on the boost like the gorgeous 4K mode or play it on like frame rate mode, the balance mode or performance mode or whatever it's called in that particular game. They're just like different names for different games.
Yeah, exactly. So, and yes, pre-orders are pretty risky, especially with COVID and everything. You never know if somebody's gonna, run away with your shit. So,
Yeah, because they're saying like I don't know if you've seen them. Like I seen tweets though, like shortly after the contest came out, and just like these tweets of pictures of these fucking people have fucking like a bloody like 20, 30 of them
yeah,
on display, and
I've
it's
seen
like
people in
selling them. It's like
warehouses with like,
$1,500 or nothing,
yeah,
bitch, and stuff, and just stupid tweets like that. And I was like,
yeah, people.
I would never, ever, like, I did see a few like eBay's, but like buy it nows
Yeah.
for like £500.
Hmm.
But the thing is, like, that is probably the most I would pay. I would pay. That's like it's £450 here for the PS5 and the Xbox Series X.
Hmm.
500 will be the absolute maximum I'd pay. I'd pay no more than that. And they're going like people are selling them for 700, £800, and it's just worse is that there's people out there who would go out of their way to buy it
Yeah, I
at
wouldn't.
that price.
Same as you. I wouldn't pay like over here. I want to buy the digital edition because I don't really buy CDs anymore.
Yeah, you don't, yeah, because you don't buy like I can understand because you don't really buy physical stuff. You tend to just buy them on download on the store
Yeah,
anyway nowadays,
exactly.
don't you?
So I over here is what, $500 I think. So I
No, it's well, yeah, $500 probably Canadian,
yeah.
is it,
So I've
for
seen
the
a
digital
couple
version?
of places, that they sell it like $1,000 or $1,200, and I'm like,
Yeah,
no
like
way, man.
no, that's no way, no way.
I'm-
Like maybe a bit more than the retail price, but not fucking like anything above that
no,
fat chance.
exactly. Like I wouldn't pay that amount. I'd probably pay.
Like if you saw it for 550, would you
Oh yeah,
get it?
I get it for sure. Yeah, if I saw it at 550
Yeah.
or 600, I'd get it for
Yeah, like
sure.
something like that. Yeah, I'd get it if I was like no knowing I was getting now because I was not gonna fucking put it down and like end up not getting getting fucking ripped off now because
Hmm.
that was the thing because I didn't want that to happen now.
No, of course not. They say, hey, get it for 600, and then you give them money, and they just end up stealing your shit, taking your money, and not
No,
sending you a PS5.
they send you an empty
Yeah,
box.
exactly. Or they say,
And the note outside said, "Thanks for the money,
yeah,
loser."
they send you a PS2 or something. So,
Yeah, they sent you two PS2s and a PS1. There you go. There's your
yeah,
PS5
exactly. PS3 and a
or
PS2.
PS3 and a PS2, just whatever combination, or PS4 and a PS1.
Yeah,
Just there you go. Just whatever combination adds up to PS5.
yeah, that would be garbage. But yeah, I'm still waiting on that. So Miles Morales, I've been playing, some games here and there, like some,
I see you were playing FIFA yesterday.
yeah, FIFA 21. I just got recently, yesterday or Friday. I just like those games, and it was like 55% off. So I said, why not? So I just get,
Wow,
yeah,
really?
55% off on the CD keys. So I just got it and played some of it. It's FIFA, it doesn't really change much from year to year, so it's still FIFA. There's better control, better, a little bit better graphics and stuff, but it still stays the same game over and over again. So, um, I've been playing Among Us a little bit and some, not really a whole lot, but a little bit of Among Us, a little bit of Fall Guys here and there. Um,
I'm going to ask you a question now. When was the last time you played Overwatch?
oh, it's been a while. I haven't played the events. Like, I haven't played a Christmas event. I haven't played I think the Japanese one is on now. I haven't played
Or the Chinese New
Chinese
Year,
New
is
Year,
it?
sorry, yeah. I think that one's on right now. It's actually uninstalled on my PC. I had to make room for some stuff. So yeah, I haven't played Overwatch in forever.
Yeah, it's been months now since I played it though. I think it's finally time. I think it's finally passed now. It's like that time has passed finally on that game for
Yeah, I
me.
think so. Yeah, there was a while I was like, okay, I'll go back to it, and I'll go back to it. I'll go back to it. Now it's like, nah, I don't feel like going back to Overwatch. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's past.
like I enjoyed my time with that game, of
Yeah,
course, though. But like I said, it's just
and there's still a bunch of
you
people who
just
play it, but I mean, for me, that ship
I
has
was
sailed. Waiting for the
yeah, I
second
just
one.
rather it on the just waiting on the sequel now, pretty
Yeah,
much. Which don't know when it'll be. Like I assume it'll probably be maybe this year or next year, I guess.
I'm bidding more next year. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I would say it'd probably been this year if COVID didn't happen, because there is a bunch of games like you've been hearing games last couple of weeks though been delayed
Hmm.
now because of I'm sure like a reason for that is because of COVID though is like slowing progress, slowing development.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. I've got Will who's asking you a question again. He's saying, "Do you like sports games?"
Uh, Not
Not
really.
really.
Like I liked playing a few like I was there was a time where I played like Tiger
Hmm.
Woods. I think I played some of them with
Yeah.
yourself. At a time, and I used to play like kind of like tennis games and that. There are a few tennis games though, but in terms like football, I played like NHL though, like in the lot like during the 360 generation a bit, and played some games there. But other than that, not really. Like I don't go out my way and play any of them now.
Hmm.
Like the only ones I play would be wrestling games if you consider them sports games, but that's pretty much it. Although I didn't play the offering of WWE 2K Battlegrounds from
Oh,
last
you didn't
year
play it?
because nope.
Good on you.
I was considering getting it though because it wasn't like full price now. It was like this kind of
Yeah, I
price,
think it's
but
$40. Yeah.
I heard it wasn't very good,
No, it's
and
not good at
also
all.
the whole thing is like not everyone's available from the start, and the way you get them is either I think get the currency in the game or probably pay up to get them unlocked straight away.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the way you get them. Like, every good sports games, I guess, they all do that. So it's not a good game. It's not worth your time at all. So yeah, I played it. I didn't enjoy it at all.
Oh, you bought it,
Yeah, I
did you?
bought it. I played it, and it's not. I thought it would be like
All
All
Stars?
Stars, but no, it's really not like All Stars at all.
No. Like that's what I was thinking of as well, though. But when seen it come out in the reviews and like feedback, it's like, nah, this is not it. I was like, nah, I'm gonna give it a pass and not gonna bother.
Hmm.
And I'm actually curious what this next. I'm actually curious if there actually is going to be a W2K game this year.
I don't think so.
Is this going to be Thunderdome? Is that going to be the only arena available?
Yeah,
Because that's practically the only one I've had
it's
up in the
the
last
only thing you have is
year.
Thunderdome available
Yeah,
in red or in blue.
the Thunderdome and the flipping Capital Wrestling Center.
Yeah,
They're the only two arenas.
but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna release another 2K game or if we'll see that AEW game come out first.
Yeah, I'm more interested in that, of course.
Yeah, of course. From the guys with No
At
Mercy.
least,
Mm.
yeah, 'cause at least that's something new and like it's untested yet. Like it's like we don't know what to expect from it
And
yet.
Kenny
Whereas
Omega's
we know
behind
what
it, so
yeah,
that could spell something good for it. We'll
yeah,
just have to wait and see. But I've been playing bits and bobs, games here and there, not really committing to anything in particular. But I started a game Friday, a series that you're pretty familiar with, Yakuza Like a Dragon. Started that on PC, and I absolutely love it. I think it might actually become if it continues on this path, I think it might become my favorite Yakuza game.
I heard a lot of good things about Like a Dragon. I've heard like a lot of people really like this game. I think it seems to be.
Universally
I
loved.
think I think it hasn't. I don't think I've heard this much buzz of it since of a Yakuza game since Zero.
Oh, it's so good, dude. It's so good. It is so good. I really, really like it. But yeah, it's I just started. I'm on chapter 3, and yeah, it's really good. It's completely different from
Yeah, it's
all
like
the other
it's
Yakuza
actually like
games in the
yeah, it's
past.
actual turn-based sort of RPG pretty
Yeah,
much
it's
this
turn
time
based
around.
because you're a guy, the new guy, Ichiro. They call him Ichi. He's pretty much a fan of Dragon Quest. They even mentioned Dragon Quest in the game, so he's a huge fan of Dragon Quest. So it's pretty much Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Ichiban. Yeah, that's his name. Ichiban is his name. So it's pretty much Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, turn-based, which is really different from previous Yakuza games. So you kind of have to get used to it. But yeah, I really, really like it. A ton. I love.
I like turn-based RPG. I don't play like a whole ton of them now, but like I like playing them though, and as long as it has that sort of good Yakuza stuff with like the crazy subs, this funny and crazy sub stories and like the various mini
Mhm.
games. Like I think this one's like like you. I think the mini game main one in this one's like a business thing or something. Like you build like a business empire or something like that, like tycoon thing, I believe.
Yeah, I haven't seen all of them. Like I've seen there's a game that you because your events in the game happen that you become a bum and you're like on the street and everything. And there's a game where you need to pick up some cans to make money. So that's pretty funny. Um,
Yeah, I know that one of the mini games is now you go to like the cinema or theater and you have to try and stay awake and not fall asleep.
yep, there's one of them.
And I'm sure there's probably karaoke as well, and
Yeah,
some of the standard
but you know how those
game
games
mini
are.
games
They
you see in
hold your
Yakuza.
hand pretty much for the first like 3 chapters, 4 chapters.
Yeah, and then it's pretty much it's kind of a bit of a linear thing, like first few chapters, and then basically you get to a certain point, and it's like okay, here you
Yep,
go, you can do what you want now to your heart's extent.
pretty much, pretty much. But yeah, for what I've played so far, I really enjoy it. Like it's
Now you played Yakuza Zero, Kiwami 2, and 6, correct?
I played 0, 1, 2. Well, Kiwami 1, 2, 6, and now I'm playing this one. So
Yeah, that's the same.
no,
Yeah, that's the one you never played 3, 4, 5.
no, but they're coming out on Xbox Game Pass,
Game
so
Pass. Yeah,
I'm gonna play them when they come out. But yeah, I mean,
I need to go back to 3. Like I stopped it though. I wasn't really feeling it, to be honest.
okay.
That's probably the reason why I stopped it. And the one of the sub stories is just flipping horrible.
Hmm.
Like I mentioned it on Thingaweb, like it's like a hostess like sub story thing. It's not like it's like a wee mini game thing though, but it's just nothing to the extent of the one like the Cabaret Mini Club game in Yakuza Zero and Kiwami 2.
Hmm.
It's just really bad.
Okay.
Like you take this host this girl this hostess, you have to try and level up and make her become like a really great hostess thing, but the way it just works, it's just so fucking crap. And I'm probably not going to bother finishing that sub story. I'll probably just drop it there, especially, and just move on because I just think it's really lazy.
Hmm. Yeah. I I haven't seen what it's like that gameplay, but yeah, I mean it's probably different from game to game to game, right? So.
Yeah, but like it's a remastered version of a game that came out in 2010
Hmm.
anyway. I think it came out 2009 in Japan. It came out over the 2009, I think. but I think it came out 2010 here in the West.
Is Like a Dragon a simultaneous release here and over there?
Yeah, it came out the 10th of. It came out the same day as Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
Okay.
so it did. Oh no, you mean here in Japan?
In Japan, yeah.
Japan? No, it came out. I think it was just a year there. A couple of I think yesterday or this the week it was. It was a year since it got released.
Okay.
No, that's one of those series that doesn't come out for like months after.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a different change because Yakuza 5 I think came out. Yeah, Yakuza 5 came out in 2012, so it did
hmm
in Japan and it didn't come out here. It didn't come out in the West for another 3 years.
Okay.
And the only place you were able to get it was download on PS3. And if you didn't have if you had the smallest PS3, you were shit out of luck.
Okay.
But thankfully, they've probably released the remastered version now, so I can actually play those games.
Okay. But yeah, I'm really enjoying what I've played of it so far, and I'm guessing it gets, funnier and more intense and crazier as you go on in the game, as all Yakuza games um, tend to be. But yeah, I can. It's weird seeing a new protagonist in a Yakuza game, but it's cool. It's pretty cool. Besides that, but yeah,
Like, I don't know if there's any ties now to the previous, like, if there's any characters or certain little references to the previous ones now.
characters I'm not
That's just,
sure. But there is at one point they go to the um, like that big old building in like the center of
the Millennium Tower.
not the Millennium Tower. It's another like older building in I don't remember what it is. Like it's a bathhouse, I think, but it becomes something
Okay.
else in this game. And they go there, and then he talks about the guy that's with Ichiban talks about a guy who plowed into the building with a like a I think it's well it's what Kiryu did, with the truck when he plowed into the building. I think it's in six.
I never played through six
Okay,
now, so
but he plowed
that's
into a
I'm trying to
building.
play. I'm trying to play. I need to play. I'm playing through them in chronological order.
Okay.
So that's why, like, I need to get through them. I do want to get through the series. That's why I'm not haven't played Yakuza. Like, I know it's a no new protagonist and a new story though, but I still kind of want to play through them in chronological
hmm
order.
But yeah, it's there's a couple of references that you really need to be a fan to catch. Like they don't make it obvious that it's something to do with that. So um, but yeah, I just started that one, chapter 3. Really enjoying it. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it's going to be another fantastic Yakuza game for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much if
I
I.
think it's going to be. I think it's going to be brought up in the Giant Bomb game of the year because I think a few of them were talking about it there and really liked it.
Yeah, I think Brad loves it. And I think Alex loves it too.
Yeah, and I think Ben liked it as
hmm
well.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much what I can remember playing that I've played in the last couple of months. So you go ahead and talk about what you've been playing.
Well, I'm probably going to talk about the game that's pretty much taken over my. Well, it kind of has taken over my life for the last few months now. Like, I haven't played every single day now. There has been, like, I did take a break from it there over like a few weeks there, like last month now.
hmm
But I did mention a few times there earlier on. It is, of course, Assassin's Creed Valhalla,
Yep.
the latest game in from Ubisoft. Um, Like I had Odyssey in my top 10 video games of 2018 now, despite the fact I played like what 50 hours of it, I think at the time, and I never finished it.
Hmm.
But I just really loved it that much that it ended up being in my top 10, and I eventually did go and finish it though later on that year,
Hmm.
2019, because I got it like New Year's Day 2019. Um, but then I got Assassin's Creed, and then I got like I say, I finished it there then, and once I found out that the next game was going to be in a Valhalla's Norse setting, like in Viking like 9th century
Hmm.
England, Vikings and that there, I was pretty much all in, and I got it there, and I have not yet finished it, and I've spent over 80 hours in it
Yeah, I
already
can imagine.
because it is a fucking long ass game.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Um, the thing is, like, but the thing is as well, like, I have to blame myself though because it's not like oh it's 80 hours I'm still not done because I'm just mainline. Like I'm doing a lot of the side stuff. Like
Hmm.
there's the main quest where you go, like you start off in Norway, so you do.
Hmm.
You start off Norway as like young Eve, like start off in Norway Eivor, like you can choose either male Eivor or female Eivor. I went for the female Eivor,
Hmm.
and like you start off in Norway, and like the start of the story you play as a young Eivor, and then like events happen where like your family gets killed, like your father gets killed by this guy, and then you grow up, and then like you start off then having to go and wanting to try and get revenge on him, then get revenge on your father getting killed and killing that guy, kill him, and then once that, so that's like the prologue of the game, and then once you do that there, then you go off to England, and England's split up into the various
Hmm.
regions, and each region has its own little story, so it does, where usually it's like, oh, I'm going to like someone from this, like one of the kings, or like sort of aide of the king or something, one who's like, or someone who wants to become king wants your help, and you basically go and sort of deal with their problem pretty much. That's kind of like your sort of the different stories though. But there's a sort of bigger sort of arc as well that deals with your, like, he's not your she's not his like blood brother now, but like his brother kind of, you know in arms, Sigurd, who gets captured by this person that you thought was like a ally at first, but that ends up sort of betraying you, and she takes him, and then he fights this stuff. She sort of tells this stuff in his head that he's actually like a god. He's one of the like ancients and stuff like that there, and then he pretty much believes it. Then that's kind of sort of where I'm at the story. Like it's pretty far in the story though. You find this stuff out, and then
Hmm.
because you do, like I think it's around the start of the game you have this premonition, or you're given this sort of vision that says Eivor actually killing Sigurd. So it's sort of probably like ties, sort of maybe what ties that sort of maybe what ties what happens at the end of the game now. So it's there's probably along those lines what's going to occur towards the end of the game now. But like I said, I haven't finished it though. But like the story and that there's like good and all that there, but it's not like fantastic by any means.
Hmm.
But like I do like Eivor. I just like her. I like the cat. I really like the voice. Like I know some people I've heard that don't think the voice acting in this game's like really crappy and hammy though, and there is certain ones though that are like kind of you know theater acting, like just very amateur, I guess. But I do like the voices, just to hear like hearing certain English dialect, and I love hearing like the just the Dane Norse, just hearing like them saying certain words and like Norwegian and that there, like
Hmm.
the certain like Ragnarok and that kind of accent and stuff like that. But like I really like the voice actress of Eivor now.
Hmm.
And there is the stuff like the modern stuff he plays, like from Layla again, from Origins and Odyssey
Okay.
though, like her little story though. But there's not much to it, of course. It's just like very minimal
Okay.
to it. But there's like things in the open world where there are things called anomalies, and what you touch them and you become Layla, and like this sort of the animus the simulation kind of phrases, and you do these little wee kind of courses like these puzzle stuff, so it
Oh,
is,
okay.
and then you just
Okay.
and then once you get to the end of it, you hear this like unknown male voice and these unknown voices then, and then once you get the touch the things like this data thing, you get this like weird clip of this like just look weird stuff happening. um it just kind of reminds me, did you play through Brotherhood?
The Brotherhood?
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed
I
Brotherhood?
don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
I don't know if you did now. I don't know if it was in two of Brotherhood now, but there was a thing that you go around and collected these things, and every time you collected one, it showed you this little wee, like short clip or something.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of remember that. Yeah,
And then like,
yeah.
once you get them all, it shows you this whole like this video though.
Hmm.
It's kind of along those lines, but these are a bit like longer though.
Okay.
But it's not like so they are. But so I assume once I get all those anomalies, I'll probably show you this whole like story then, what this whole
Yeah,
deal's
was it with
about then.
Subject Zero? Was it?
Yeah, subject, yeah, 16 or
Yeah.
something along
Okay.
those
Yeah. Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, it's that's it because you collected these. I forget what they're called now, but you collected these things in Brotherhood now. I believe it was Brotherhood. I don't know. I think it was Brotherhood. Yeah, I think it was Brotherhood now that you get them, and then once you got them all, it showed you this video then
Hmm.
of the subject 16 stuff. Yeah. There's something along those lines though, and then I assume once you get all them, then that's when I find the full like no full find the full whole story of that there stuff.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, I just been playing this here for pretty much. I've been playing it kind of all week there. It's pretty much been the only game I've been playing up during my time off. Though I've played like a couple of other games though, but not too much.
Okay.
But this is the main one though, because I do want to try and get it finished though before by the time I get home.
Yeah, you probably
Once I'm
don't do
home.
all the side stuff, I'm guessing.
No, I've done a lot of the side
Okay.
stuff. Like there's the main stuff like I mentioned there. Like you go through these different
Hmm.
regions. Like there's Grand Butcher, different regions, and like you hear like the old like Grand Butcher, Gloucestershire, like London, like London. It's like Lunden. That's I think that was the way it was spelled back then.
Hmm.
And like here, I could say you go to places that I know of nowadays, like Doncaster and Essex and Sussex, but spelled differently back then, of course.
Hmm.
Um, but there is like there's these different arcs as well, like in your sort of home base, it's called Ravensthorpe. This is where you get your settlement is, and you talk to this person. I forget her name though, but she's like kind of like this, like a seer, like voodoo, like seer one, and you drink this thing, like thing, and you go into this kind of vision thing, and you become like Havi,
Hmm.
and you do these arcs in Asgard and in Jotunheim. So you do, and you talk with the different gods, like you talk with Loki, you talk with Thor, you talk with Freya,
Okay.
talk with Tyr, and that there, and you go to Jotunheim then, so you do, and like you fight Loki there at that boss, and then like the whole arc at the end of it is you fight Fenrir, who is Loki's son
Okay.
in the Norse mythology, and you fight him once you that's the final boss in the whole arc of Asgard and Jotunheim, so it is, and did that there, which is pretty cool. I want to do all that stuff, and then I went back, and
Hmm.
much like in honestly, with the Cult of Cosmos, it has its own sort of kill list, which I just did the last one there last night, so I did.
Okay.
I got the final one. Well, I haven't done the later yet though because I can't unlock. I think you have to finish the main story.
Okay.
But I know who it is anyway. Who the actual later
Okay.
is. Like it is a character you meet in the game now. So it is, and it's like it is a character who's actually who is a historical character now as well. So it's not like a random character now. It's
Okay.
a character who's part of history, and yeah, and like I said, like the Cult of Cosmos and that there's like a kill list, and like each of there's different. You go to certain You have to go around and find a certain clues, and once you get these clues, you unlock the where this person is. The thing is, and this one's called the Order of the Ancients,
Yeah, it's pretty much
and
like
that's
the other one before it, right?
yeah, that's what I said. It's like the Cult of
Yeah.
Cosmos and Odyssey now, which I did every single last one of them in this and that, and I did every single last one in this one,
Okay.
apart from like the later, but because I really like doing that. This one's a lot easier because in the Odyssey, though, usually when you had to fight them, they were usually in like some sort of fortress or surrounded by complete, like a lot of
Mhm.
enemies. Where this one, they're just basically like normal people are doing their thing, and then you just walk around. You could just go in a building, or you jump on top of a building,
Mhm.
or you just walk up to them, just like stab them, and assassinate them like that. They're nice. So
Okay.
that's it. Just makes the things a lot easier. It's not like
Yeah, it
so
must.
tricky
Yeah.
now. Like the thing that the tricky fights in the that there is the zealots. Like they're pretty much like the mercenaries from Odyssey now, but not exactly. Where there's just a set number of them.
Mhm.
There's I think 16, I believe, overall, and killing they're spread out throughout the entire country of England as well. And you go around and kill them. Sometimes they may drop a clue that leads to what, like a drop a clue that leads you further on to one of the like order members as well.
Okay.
And each of them there's different ones. Like you might find one that has like a sword and a shield. You might find one has like a two-handed sword. You might fight one that's like a spear and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And yeah, I killed every single last one of them. I killed all the orders, and I don't know if you've seen it on my gaming profile now.
Mhm.
From last night, I had showed a picture of pretty much the my work, the completed thing, because there's these three things called the Daughters of Lyrian in the game now that you fight, and when you beat all three of them, and then go to this location and put the daggers to you get a piece of Thor's armor.
Ah, okay.
So you get the arm, you get the chest, you get the plate, you get a cloak, you get a helmet, and you get bracers, and like the shoe, like the boots or whatever.
Okay.
And you get the four of them by defeating the $3 of Lyrian, and then you get the um get the I think get the I think it's the hood or the helmet.
Okay.
No, I think it's the helmet you get by defeating them, and then go to that location. And once you kill all the orders of the ancients and all the zealots, um, then you just go back and handling the last of the order of the medallions, because it's a quest line as well. It's a quest that you do that you each time you kill a zealot or a order of the ancient, you get a medallion, and you go back to this guy, Hytham, who's part of the hidden
Mhm.
ones, pretty much the assassins in this game, and also that they're known as they're called the hidden ones. Um, and you hand them to it, and once you complete that quest, then that's you get the last part of the or the Thor armor. You get the cloak, I believe, and then you go back to Norway, and you go to a certain location, and you find Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, and that's what I got
Well, that's
by,
cool.
and that's the only way you get it. You have to have the full Thor armor set equipped on before you can get Mjolnir, and that's my picture I had posted on Twitter there last night. Though I have
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
armor set, so that's pretty much it's a pretty long task now, because it's not like this is it's a pretty dense long task to do to get all that there, but I wanted to get it once I found out that there. And also Excalibur is in it as well, like the great Excalibur sword
Okay.
you get as well, but you have to go to these different they're little they're kind of like the tombs in Tomb Raider, I guess, but there's no like puzzles really in them. But like you just go around exploring, and once at the end of them, you get this like these
Mhm.
tablets. So you do, and a few of the zealots have them, but most of them are in these Treasure Britain um, locations that they're called, and that's what they get them. But I haven't got all them yet, but I have a few more to get.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, Um, I really do like the game. I do think it's way too long though.
Hmm.
Like, I actually thought this was not going to be as bad as Odyssey. Like, I thought Odyssey was bloated, and it's like, oh man, I finally finished Odyssey, and like this didn't look too bad when I
It
first
gets
saw it. I was like,
bigger and
okay,
bigger
is
and
this going to
bigger.
be? Yeah, it's just not like the thing is well like not every single like you could travel to certain locations now, but the thing as well is like there's each location has a different as a set power level.
Hmm.
That's like the leveling system pretty much in this game. Where okay, I start off here in Ravensthorpe or in this around this area. Okay, the next area over there, oh that's power level say 20 or
Yeah.
whatever. I can do that, but I can't go to this location because it's like power level 160.
Okay, yeah,
I
it's
have
just
to wait
like the
until
same thing. Okay.
yeah, but I'm pretty much. But the fact is, though, I was so over level now
Yeah.
because I was doing like I'm 350, I think now, and like the highest, like I'm like 330 or 50 or something now.
Hmm.
I pretty much have gotten practically every single fucking ability and thing on the skill tree now,
Yeah.
and therefore it just makes it's just everything's just so piss easy for the most part now. Like I was playing on hard anyway. Like the things that were the tricky were the zealot fights. A few of them were tricky, and the Daughters of Lyrian. But the main quest line has been pretty much easy
Hmm.
though, because of the fact is by the time I get to those locations, I'm just so over leveled.
Yeah.
Like I was doing like the quest line now. It's like 160 recommended level, and I'm like twice that.
Jeez.
Therefore, I just so over level though, and just makes a lot of the, like I could be I'm so close to death like a couple of times, but it's not like I'm really worrying now. It's because just sometimes I get surrounded by enemies,
Hmm.
so sometimes, but it's not like oh my god, this is so difficult now. Like the things that were tricky were the some of the zealot fights, and the Daughters of Lyrian, and a couple of the like the beast legendary beast fights.
Hmm.
Something like the lands along. They're not like the myth. They're the pretty much kind of like the mythical creatures ones you do in Odyssey now, but definitely not as memorable.
Okay.
Like but you fight like certain, legendary creatures, but they're like like maybe like a big wolf or like probably like the probably the closest thing to one of those like things in Odyssey is probably fighting Fenrir,
Okay.
something along those lines. Like fighting Fenrir is kind of a bit like fighting Sith from Dark Souls.
Okay.
Because one point he actually took out like a big log, and I thought it was a sword at first. Like holy fuck, I'm fighting Sith,
Hmm.
but it actually was a big log, like a tree
Okay.
log. So it was. So I thought that was the case.
Yeah, you were talking about being over leveled. Same thing happened to me
Yeah,
in Cyberpunk. Like doing everything in that game, I did all the side quests and most of the jobs and everything. I was so over leveled that I got to the final boss. I was level 43, I think. I got to the final boss and I took him down like in 3 shots. I shot him 3 times and he died. And he was supposed to be like this big bad dude that it's like, oh my god, you gotta fear this guy. He's coming. He's gonna kick your ass. And I was like, "Brr, okay, I'm done. See you later." I was so over leveled for that final boss. It was so easy, and I was just laughing my ass off. I was like, okay, finish the game, I guess. So
that's why I wish there was an option that you can choose to have like enemies in that scale to your power level
yeah, I mean sometimes it's
instead,
cool to
rather
be
than
so over leveled and so overpowered, but yeah, I wish there was a way if you want to go that route. There was a way to put the enemies your level, or maybe like
yeah.
2 levels below you or something like that.
Like early on, like when I didn't have like great armor or weapons and that, I was having like sort of tricky times. So, but like it was like, but it's been a really good while now where I didn't really have outside those like things I talked about though.
Hmm.
Like I actually fought like Fenrir, like when I did the Fenrir fight, I think it said recommended level 350, and I was like 280 or something at the
Oh
point.
boy, okay.
So, but I did the first time. He wasn't that difficult
Okay.
because a lot of his attacks were very slow and not there, and like he did pack a bit of a wallop though, but it wasn't to the point of like, oh my god, I got hit and like seriously like dead in one hit or anything like that. Now, but like I did the first go, and I thought it was probably gonna be a thing I might have to do like a couple of times, but no,
Hmm.
I did the first go and didn't have big trouble. But like the Dawes of Lyrian, those they're to me they're probably like the hardest fights I've had in the game because I had to do them several times. But I was like under level doing them though as well. But like I got to a point where I was like, okay, this like the last one I did was like I think 240, 250, no, yeah, 240, 250 or something. I think I forget.
You were talking
And
about
I was
Fenrir. That's the god from God of War, right? That you Kratos fights. No,
no,
that's not him. Okay, I thought it was
that's Balder.
Balder. Yeah, sorry.
No, Fenrir's the wolf, a big wolf.
Okay, okay,
It's a son of Loki in Norse mythology.
okay.
And that's just how you fight Loki before you fight Fenrir. In this, you kill Loki. You fight Loki in the last quest of the Jotunheim arc. So you do.
Did you get a cat on your boat? Because I'm watching a video right now. There's a cat in the boat that's just sleeping there.
I don't think I did though. I don't know how you get that one now. But there's a few they're pretty much are like these side quests in the game though, but they're called world events.
Hmm.
So they are where you go around, and some of them are like some of them just are they're not really long though. Like most of them are just like a few minutes long, or some of them could be like as little as like a minute or something.
A little bit like the side quests
Uh,
in Yakuza. You have some that are really
no,
short.
not even
Not even
that.
that.
Some of them are like they're very short though. But you go around, some of them like there was one that I did there the other day where this woman she's mourning the death of her cat, and she tells you he's got Spinksy he was called, and she's been dead now for like a long time now,
Hmm.
and you basically you tell her, okay, you want to get some stuff though, and sort of get her some of her things to like, sort of create a shrine for her, and she said, oh, that'd be nice, and then you go into her house, and like these like crates are in the way, and you jump up and go over them, and in the room there's like fluffing all like cats everywhere, so they are like some of them like are like they're children, so they are,
Okay.
and you get some of their things, and you could pet them and stuff like that there, and you go out and then just give the woman to her thing and set the stuff in the shrine, like make a wee little shrines, like I think it's her grave though anyway,
That's cool.
and stuff like that as well. And there's another one where I go into this house as well, and there's like cats everywhere as well. Like the world events, like that's probably one of the reasons why I'm spending so long, because I actually really like doing them world events
Yeah.
because you don't know what to expect. They're really they're to me they're actually like they're the equivalent of those sub stories
Yeah.
in this game,
Hmm.
because some of them are just really like funny. Some of them are really like one of the ones you come across as well is that one of the ones early on is like it's just this couple they want to reunite their like romance in the bed
Yeah, I
now.
think I heard of that one.
And
Yeah, I think I.
yeah, where you basically have to pretend, oh, we're fighting, we're battling out there, and you basically have to fucking burn down the house to get them like all riled up, to get them all like horny and out there. It's pretty funny
That's
though.
insane.
Like Bert, like it's like something like that. Okay, that's good now. Let's get busy and that. Like that was one of the funnier ones. So
Did
it
you do
is. But
the
this
rap
is,
battles? Well, what they call it in this
flighting.
fighting? Yeah.
I love doing them. They're great
Yeah.
though. Yeah, you go around. They're available at certain locations, so they come show up and as part of those mysteries, and yeah, because when I didn't know about them now, and when I did the first one in Norway, because you do the first one in Norway now, when I seen that there, I was like, oh, this is so fucking great, because I absolutely loved it, because Curse of Monkey Island, which is like my favorite adventure game of all
Mhm.
time, had a chapter where you go around and pretty much do that.
Yeah.
Where you had to do insults and rhyme. I fucking loved that in that game. And the fact is, it's in this game. It's pretty easy in this one,
Okay.
because for the most part, because usually, because you have to do like the same set, like the same rhyme and the same kind of length of that. You can't do like a long ass one, and even though that word rhymes, it's not the
Hmm.
same. Like say like she says like sort of like 5, 10, like 10 words. You sort of have to have her and sort of kind of same pace. Like you are an ugly as a shrill cow,
Hmm.
and you have to sort of say something along those lines, like not along those lines, but something in that same pace. You can't go, well, you're as ugly as an da sa or whatever.
Hmm.
You can't do like a very overly long one. But the thing is, usually there's like you usually pick three options, and one of the options is usually it completely does not rhyme whatsoever, so you pretty much can cut off from the
Okay.
thing. And the other one is like, okay, it does rhyme, but it's overly long, so I choose this option. Okay, that's the option,
Okay.
and pretty much most of the time it's correct anyway.
All right.
But yeah, I do like doing them flighting things, and also it helps build your charisma up. And there is certain points in the game where you come across people, and either you can battle them,
Hmm.
which like has a like a red like axe like symbol, like cross axe like hammer symbol,
Okay.
to battle them, or you could use your charisma. You have to have a certain level of charisma to sort of like, it's pretty much like if they're gonna come up and like you know want to fight you or something, you pretty much use your charisma and just basically like put the fear in them.
Hmm.
It's like you pretty much you don't want to mess with me, and then pretty much like bug off,
Okay.
bugger off. Then that's pretty much what the flighting does, just helps build your charisma up, and that's why you can either do that, or you can maybe sometimes you have the option of just giving them silver
Okay.
as well. But even if I didn't have the flighting charisma up though, like I could just give them silver anyway though, because I'm just like so much silver, because getting many in this game is pretty damn easy.
Yeah, I would guess so.
Um, I think I pretty much talked to death about it, but I really enjoy it. It is. I love exploring this. It is so beautiful though. Some of the scenery in this game is beautiful though. Like I think is like probably my favorite open world. Like going around this open world since The Witcher
Hmm.
3. And it's absolutely just beautiful though. Just like some of the sunsets. So like just running around in your like I have a wolf mount,
Hmm.
and just go running around, and just like the sunrise or just sunset coming down. It's just so gorgeous to look at though. That's why I've done so many like photos and out there on my gaming
Yeah, I'd love to have
Twitter
a wolf
account.
mount for sure.
It was a part of the Ultimate Edition, or like the special edition. No, that's because I have as I have Uplay Plus, and you get the Ultimate Edition
Okay.
by with Uplay Plus,
Okay.
and that's how you get it now, I believe. Oh no, was it? Oh no, either that. No, I think it was that. No, maybe. Actually, I'm gonna check. I think it's actually I bought it on the. You get certain awards, and you buy it with the UPlay
Hmm.
points. I think that's what I got it from. So it was actually instead. It's either that or the. It's a part of the Ultimate Edition.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a beautiful game. No, it's I really like it. Even if I'm playing on medium, and I still think it looks good.
Hmm.
So I want one like that. I would love to imagine playing this in 4K. I think it would
Yeah,
absolutely look absolutely
it must be gorgeous for sure.
front, absolutely gorgeous indeed. Yeah, it looks absolutely beautiful. Oh no, it was Ultimate Edition though.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a special edition kind of unlockable because it's not here. But yeah, that is pretty much I think everything. Like I've talked long enough about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I really do love it though. I wouldn't be if I would stop playing if I wasn't though. But I do think it's too long.
Yeah, I'll probably get it
Like
somewhere down the line for sure.
even Alex Navarro, he's been playing and he still hasn't finished it either.
Hmm.
I think he said he's hit the whole 100 hour mark now as well, and he still hasn't finished it.
Okay.
I'm like I checked the thing here though. The thing is weird about the Ubisoft Connect thing is you go into your overview and you see your statistics there. Like it says time played 93 hours, but when I go into the game and check my loading though, it's like I think at least 5 to 6 hours less than
Yeah, I
that,
think it does.
maybe more.
GOG does the same thing for Cyberpunk. Like I was saying, I played like 125 hours or something like that, but it was like in the game, I think it's 103 or 104.
Yeah,
So.
But I'm going more with what's on the load
Yeah.
game stats. But it's like 80. It's more than I think it's 89. It's like 85 plus hours at least anyway.
Okay.
So and I'm still not done with the damn game. But I'll have it finished hopefully this week. I've got like I think four. No, what is it? I think I've got four. I think I've got four more regions to do,
Okay.
and then I've got the final part to go back in Norway, and then that's me done with the game
Okay.
at long fucking last. And I am not touching another open world
In a
game
while.
for quite some time. Yeah, like I can go and play, say, Immortals Phoenix Rising, which I played a bit of there as well when I was taking a break from
Hmm.
Valhalla, and I enjoyed it though. It's pretty much their version of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's
So
what
it
I heard
is.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I played like a couple of like I played a couple of hours of it there, and I'll play it though because I just in that game anyway, so it was,
Yeah.
and I really enjoyed what I played with thus far. But again, I'm gonna probably leave it for later in the year
Hmm.
because playing an open world game and then going straight from one open world game to another is not the best situation.
No.
Which I think some people did that when Horizon and Zelda, because they came out very close to each other. People tended to go from Zelda to Horizon or vice versa,
Hmm.
and then they ended up, especially people, because I listened to a
That's what I
podcast.
did.
Yeah, I
And
listened
that's
to a
why I never
podcast that
finished Breath
played.
of the Wild.
So you went from Horizon to
Yeah.
Zelda. Okay. Like I played Horizon, then I played Zelda a bit, but then I wasn't gonna play them both at the same time, so I just dropped Zelda for the time being and went back to Horizon, finished it,
Okay.
and then I didn't play Horizon. I didn't play Zelda for another 4 months.
Okay.
So I'll probably do the same thing here though. Um,
I don't know if you
but
want to
that was in
jump
my top.
into this, but I've got a question from the chat. Says,
Go ahead.
which games are you guys anticipating for 2021?
2021. Hmm.
I mean, not a whole lot.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be out this year though, but I'd just like to hear more information about Elden Ring
Yeah.
from
Hmm.
Software, because you know me, like I liked Sekiro, but I wasn't. I'm not in that group that absolutely loved that game. I just think that game, like I thought it was great though, but I just didn't find it as memorable as, like it's not exactly like a Souls game though. It doesn't play like a Souls game.
Hmm.
It has certain elements, but it doesn't play exactly like it.
Yeah.
And unless you can do well with the deflect, you're pretty much kind of screwed in that game.
Yeah.
But yeah, Elden Ring, if it's announced for release this year, but not sure yet. God of War Ragnarok is supposed to come out this year, I
Mm.
believe, but I said that could be delayed again because of COVID.
Yeah, I don't think
Um,
that's. It might, but I don't think it's gonna come out this year. I really doubt it.
but that would probably be my most anticipated game if it ends
Yeah,
up
same
coming
for
out this
me.
year.
Same thing here.
Yeah, because like I thought that last God of War game was fantastic,
Yep.
and I'm very much looking forward to this one and Horizon Forbidden West.
Yeah, Horizon Forbidden West for sure. Yeah, I would
That'll
say.
be the other
Yep.
one. I'll have to look here though. Just
Yeah, I'm kind of
forget exactly
looking
what else.
through here, and there's not a.
Oh, and in terms of sort of smaller stuff, indie stuff, I don't think nothing beats thing for me. It's probably the top of the list in terms of the indie sort of stuff. Is Hollow Knight Silk Song.
Okay.
That'll be top of the list for me with that in terms of the indie side of things. Like I thought that might have come out last year, but there was practically no word of it whatsoever. It's been there was a I think there was a special on an Edge magazine, but that's pretty much it.
What I'm seeing here, Near Replicant,
Oh yeah,
which I can't wait to to play, because I like
I'm
automatic.
actually kind of curious what you're going to think of that though now.
Yeah, I don't know.
because I played it's different. It's I think it's gonna be the same though for the most part, but like I played the like because it's the I played the Gestalt version
Hmm.
on the 360 when it came out because it's the because there was two different versions of that game that came out in 2010 in Japan. One of them was the replicant version, which is that one there with the brother and sister, I believe it is.
Okay.
And the I think it's the Gestalt version that is the one that came out here in the West that is like the father and daughter.
Okay.
So I don't know, but I don't know what if it's exactly the same now. If this the different character, if it's exactly the same storyline now or not. But
There's Deathloop. I think that looks all right.
definitely,
Deathloop.
yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah. There's Back for Blood.
I only ever played the only game I've played from Arcane I've played through is Dishonored. That's the only one I've played through Arcane.
I think I played them all. I'm not a big fan,
Oh,
but
I played. I did. I played them all, but the Dishonored's the only one I finished.
I haven't. I think I finished the first Dishonored. I didn't finish Prey. I didn't finish Dishonored 2. So I don't know. Yeah, not a whole lot so far, to be honest with you. That's coming out. Well, there's Hitman next week, I guess. Hitman 3, which is the first
I'm
big.
sure you're looking forward to it.
Say what?
I'm sure you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, for sure. Um, that's I guess the first big release of the year. Until we see something else,
Yeah,
it'll be a while. So yeah, not a
I think.
whole. I mean, there's nothing that I'm like, oh my god, I gotta play this. There's nothing really, unless as you said, God of War comes out this year, or you know, Horizon scheduled for this year?
As I believe it's supposed to come out
Because
this
it's
year.
not on my list that I have here. So.
Might not be, but I think it could be. Might not be. Might be next year.
Hmm.
I'm just looking to see what's coming out. Hmm. Well, I'm getting Thing though on next month though, but like it's just a port pretty much anyway. It's Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury.
Oh yeah. Hmm. Yeah, nothing more for me, to be honest. Um, I'll wait and see how it goes. I don't think it's going to be a very busy year in video games, to be honest with you, with everything going
Yeah,
on.
I think it's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of
Yep.
delays because I'm pretty sure like there are certain games that probably maybe just started last year or like just early on in the development and because of COVID though that they're going to be delayed a bit more.
Yeah, with everything going on, I think it's going to slow down everything. So, might
Yeah,
be one of the slowest years in video games this year.
if that's the case, that'd be great for people who had massive
Yeah,
backlogs
exactly. Exactly.
like myself.
It'll be the time to go back and play stuff that we haven't finished.
Yeah, maybe be a time to me to finally get into Persona, actually play through one of them
Hmm.
because I actually would really like to play through Persona 4 or 5 at
Yeah, I
least.
think my nephew's playing through 5 right now. He's on and off
All
on it,
right.
so.
Yeah, like like the problem I have then is like not like because I just find, but like, it's funny me saying I can't I don't know if I can dedicate myself to that time though because it's just so long. It's like you have to spend like maybe 80, 90, 100 hours on that there,
Hmm.
and this is coming from someone who has spent 80 still on Assassin's Creed Valhalla 80 plus hours later,
Yeah.
and he spent 86 hours on Neo 2 during the summer.
Hmm.
So I'm one to talk. But like when you really love a game though, like that, like I love Neo 2. Like that was my number three game of last
Hmm.
year. Like I did every single mission in that game. I haven't touched the DLC though, but I'll probably will play it this
Hmm.
year. Probably get it this year.
So other games
Um,
besides Valhalla?
yeah, that was the main one I played though over the last few months. I played. Do you know of a game called My Friend
Yeah.
Pedro?
Yep.
Yeah, it was on. It's on game. It was on game. It's not there now though, but I was leaving Game Pass yesterday, and I decided to play it though. And it's a like 4 hour, 3 4 hour game. And it's pretty much kind of like a. I'd say pretty much like a 2D kind of Max Payne
Hmm.
in a way, because you can shoot these guys, go around, shoot guys, do like slow down bullet time, and do all these kind of like cool stunts. Jump wall jumps, and you know do flips and stuff like that, and do stylish kills and stuff like
Hmm.
that against enemies. And that's pretty much like you sort of have to do that, or else you're just gonna get gunned down easily though. And like you're just like Pedro's like this banana, and you have to go around. You're wearing this mask, and you have to go and get to this location called the internet. It's called the internet,
Okay.
and sort of stop the person there and stuff like that. It's a cool game. Look, like it's gone now from Game Pass, so unfortunately, but
Hmm.
I'd recommend checking it out if you find it cheap
Yeah, I'm
though. Like
watching a video on it. I've heard about it, but I'm watching kind of a video of it.
yeah, like I definitely enjoyed my time with it, so I
Hmm.
did. Um, I forget what the price is off it originally though, but like I said, it was on Game Pass until yesterday, and that's because when I seen it was action, I was like, I'm gonna go around and check this out now. And it was the first game I finished this year, so it was,
Hmm.
and I played I, I bought a few games on Switch. They're on sale, like few games with like Christmas money. Like they were like £4. It was like the Castlevania collection, the Contra collection, the Capcom beat 'em up bundle, and I played the Knights of the Round arcade game on it, which was like an hour and was fine. I think it was a fine arcade game.
Hmm.
I didn't like the control. The control. It's not the controls. It just seemed the controls were like, I don't know. Half the time you wanted to do something that didn't work. Like I only found out like way into the game that you can block. I was like back and Y, and half the time when I did back and Y, I didn't do it.
Okay.
Or when if I want to do like a stronger attack, it's like forward and Y at the same time, and 50% of the time it worked, and 50 out the other times it didn't,
Okay.
and stuff like that. So it was just really annoying, to be honest.
Okay.
Um, I'll probably talk about my sort of my two favorite games of the year, since you pretty much talked about your two
Yeah.
favorites
Go ahead.
there. Um, I think this could. Like, the thing is, I have a favorite at the moment though, but the thing is, they kind of alternate, different. Like it could be like one day if you ask me what's your favorite game of 2020, it could be this
Hmm.
one, and then it could be another, and then the next day it could be the other one. It's like kind of alternates between them though. But like my two favorite games of 2020 were Hades and Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Okay.
Like Hades was probably there's usually each year there's like that indie darling game, like that indie game that just sort of really a lot of people love. It gets critically acclaimed and that there, and I think Hades was that game from this last year,
Hmm.
and it's pretty much it's easily Supergiant Games' best game.
Okay.
I absolutely love that game. Like
I kind of want to play it too.
I thoroughly recommend you
Hmm.
do. Like it's a roguelike game, but it's probably one of the best, if not the best, one of those games you can play.
Okay.
Like the action's so good. It's just like you feel, and the fact is though, even if you're not getting anywhere though, there's just so much dialogue in the game that you feel like you're just getting more of the story anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's just like It's just so much to it. Like that's probably the greatest thing about this game as well is that there's just most of the other ones are like, okay, you just get to this location. There's no like little to no story or anything. It's just like, oh, this is just a standard roguelike which you just go through these rooms, you get killed, okay, you get new stuff, but you make little
Hmm.
progress, but there's no like sometimes no incentive to go on. Like there's a bunch of games I've played in a roguelike genre, but I stopped playing it because I just felt there either there's no incentive or just like I didn't really think the gameplay was that great.
Okay.
Whereas Hades though I just felt that the gameplay is so tight. It's just so fun to play. And I love the art style in this game, but that's a super giant games. I think their art style, their visuals for either all of the games have been
Yeah.
fantastic. Like even though I never played Pyre though, but I can commend them for their visual, their artistry.
Hmm.
Um, I never played Pyre because the gameplay in that game did not interest me
Yeah, I
whatsoever.
played that.
Like I just
Pyre is the
went
only one. Well, besides what was it called? Their first game.
Bastion.
Bastion. Yeah. Besides Bastion, Pyre is the only one I played from them. I haven't played
And
it.
what do you think of it?
I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was, of course, it's the basketball type thing, but it's
Yeah, like that was just put me off. Like I just like I heard it's a very good game though, but I just never just
it's much more than that, and I
when I
think
seen a
it's their least uh, liked game. I would say.
yeah, it's probably the one that doesn't come up
Yeah.
though. Like the other games would come up more before it, so it would be like I'll be the least like least popular one of the four they've
Hmm.
done.
Exactly.
I feel like this will be the one now that'll probably be the most
Oh yeah,
recognized
this will
because
be
it's gotten
forever
yeah
linked to them. Like Hades will be
yeah
Supergiant's masterpiece, pretty much.
yeah because it's just an absolutely fantastic game. Like it was an early access though for the last few years. I think it came in early access in 2018, I
Hmm.
believe. I got it. Epic Game Store had it. I got it in Epic Game Store. I got the one Epic Game Store had these like vouchers
Hmm.
available, and I got it for like £5, and I was fucking £5 well spent.
That's not a
So it
lot.
was yeah, it's like £5 odd, so it was a deal because I think it was like a £10 voucher or like 50, like some sort of I don't know, even £15 off or some sort of voucher. I forget exactly what it was, but I only had to pay like £5 odd for it
Okay.
though, and it was definitely worth it though. It's a fantastic game though. Just like the fact is, you just like you've seen gameplay footage of it though and know the gist of it. Like you go through, you're trying to escape Hades. You're Zagreus, the son of
Hmm.
Hades, try to escape Hades. So you are, and then you go through these different locations. You start off in oh fuck, what was the first
Yeah, I
location?
have it.
I
I
don't
have
remember
it
the
on
first
right now.
location.
The first 15 minutes, I think, of gameplay.
Yeah, so, but I forget what the name of the location is. But then they go through Asphodel, Elysium, and then the like Temple of Styx or something. And then you fight bosses at the end. You fight all sorts of various enemies, and then once you get to the end, you fight Hades. And then once you beat Hades, you go and then you meet Persephone.
Hmm.
And then you find like kind of spoilers a little bit away, but like you find like she's your mother, and you find she's your mother, and you like she thought you were dead, and then you find the whole story there, and that's the thing. You go like once you get escape from Hades, it's like oh people expect oh that's it finished then like okay the game's done I'm done with the game though, but the fact is there's an incentive to go back because you haven't technically finished the game yet.
Yeah, I think you need to fight your dad,
Um,
right? If you fight your father.
Yeah, you fight your dad, you do that, but you have to escape um, 10 times
Oh, okay.
to get the whole story, and then you get the credits then.
Okay. Okay.
Like, what's the credits roll? That's when I. Like, but the thing is, you could still play the game, and there's even more stuff to unlock after that
Hmm.
there. Like, it's not like, oh, I've finished the game now, I'm done with it.
So you need to play the game 10
Like,
times, pretty much.
you have to escape 10
Okay.
times to get the sort of proper ending
But you keep your
to the
your
game.
your stuff, right?
Yeah, the stuff that you keep you unlock though. Like you only start off with like one weapon, but like once you get keys,
Hmm.
then you can unlock the rest of the weapons. And there's certain things you get in each run. Like you lock new gods through like each run until you like you lock them all, and then you get these different like sort of charms, I believe they are, if they're
Hmm.
called, and you can choose them, like select one of them or something at the start of each run. Like one of them's like, there's a, you know, there's a certain percentage chance that a boon that you get from like Athena, the next boon you get from the next boon you come across is Athena,
Hmm.
or is rare or better or something along those lines, or it's boon from like Zeus or something along those lines, and they're like certain abilities. Whereas like Athena has one called Divine Dash, where if if you dash, then you have like a shield behind you, and then it blocks projectiles, and it's pretty much one of the most essential, like most great abilities you have in the game. But
Hmm.
really helps you. Like it helped me, and I pretty much got through the first bunch of runs, escapes, using that there. And also like there's certain ones you get as well that you like, there's certain boons you get that you level up. You can level up certain ones, like do more damage with your special attack, or do more damage with your normal attack, or you know your cast does a certain a different attack around and just like throw a little way diamond shape, like it might become like a big like spinning flipping like spinning scythe or something, or like something along those lines. Like that's one, like if you choose Ares, it becomes like this splitting blade and stuff like that instead. And just certain fairies, there's so different various different builds and stuff you can make though. Like there's certain times that you might not have the best build though, and therefore you're going to have a harder time. Like with all like roguelike games, like it just depends on like the build you have. Like some build you have they could just devour enemies.
Hmm.
Other times you might have a more challenging affair and stuff like that there.
Okay.
But the the story is like really good though. Like you find out like they just like the whole like story with them, Zagreus, Hades, their relationship, and like the relationship Zagreus has with the different people in Hades. Like this Nyx, and then the Fate, the Furies, and you know um Achilles and stuff like that. There, you like go each time you die, you could talk to them and just learn more about them and learn more about their relationship and out there. Like the fact is, I've played this game. There's people that probably played this game longer than I have, and probably have still encountered
Hmm.
new dialogue options and stuff like that. There's just so much dialogue. There's so much depth to this game, and sure, you're playing through the same four areas again. You're fighting the same enemies. You're fighting the same bosses, except if there's a certain once you escape from the first time, you unlock this thing called you could lock the thing called heat,
Hmm.
and these heats have these different modifiers on it. Then, whereas six, for example, one of them's called extreme measures, and if you put that up to like say three, the first three bosses you come across are different, or fight differently to what they do
Okay.
before. Like for example, in originally in the first boss you fight just one fury, so you do. But if you put the extreme measure on, you just still fight the one fury, but one of the other another fury or two of the other furies come across and do their attacks as well, so it becomes a bit trickier.
Okay.
And the second fight is it's you fight in a different arena to the original arena. And third fight is the flipping Theseus and oh jeez, what's the name of the bull again? Taurus, a Taurus, I think it is. I forget the name of the bull. They fight differently as well. Like they have gold plated armor. Like Theseus is on like he's on a flipping like chariot, so he is pretty
Okay.
much like a wee small chariot instead of like firing like a flipping like gun pretty much and stuff like that. Like rather than just like the standard, um when he fights before and stuff like that. That's the cool thing. Like and like you get extreme measures for, but you don't get that until you finish the game and do a few other things, and then you unlock it then and then that's you fight Hades then, and I think it's like you fight. He has a third, fourth phase then, at the end rather than just the two. You do defeat him.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely recommend playing it though. Like it's a like I absolutely adored that game. So I did. That was like it was my favorite game of last year. Like I played a bit of it when it was in early access though, but I kind of just waited until the full game came out then, and then I played it then a lot.
Okay.
And probably put about I'll say probably 20 or 30 hours in it.
Okay.
I know people have played a lot more than I have, but I really enjoyed that time I had with it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of picking it up sometime for sure. It looks really fun, really good.
Yeah, I heard that. Like it's on the Switch now as well, and
Hmm.
I know. Like I consider might getting on the Switch though, so I can play it on the go. But I heard it's not the best though on the Switch though, because I think it sort of when it gets a bit busy, the I think frame rate tends to take a bit of a dip.
Yeah,
But the good thing about it is cloud save, so I could just save cross save, so I could just basically continue my progress on there
oh, that's
anyway
cool.
if I wanted to. I like the fact games do that now. There's more games tend to be doing that. That's the thing as well with I forgot to mention it before. I like the thing Uplay as well. If you're part of Uplay Plus, that I can play like Assassin's Creed Valhalla has cross save, like it has a cloud. So if I want to say play it on the PS5
Hmm.
and okay I want to play on the PC now, I can do that. Just have it. It's on the cloud and can just continue my save on
That's
there.
cool.
I do like that.
That's really cool.
So I do like when games do that now. So I do.
Yeah, I think crossplay is becoming more of a standard now than it was
Yeah,
before.
like Destiny had it there like a while back, where you can have your progress on a different
Yeah.
format as well.
Yep.
But yeah, and like Final Fantasy VII Remake was my other favorite game of last
That's
year.
another one I need to play.
Yeah, definitely. Like like a lot of people, like the thing is though, like some people have a really a connection with that game, and I do. I have a connection as well, pretty much like because it's the game that got me into RPGs,
Hmm.
and therefore it always hold a special place for me. Like it wasn't the very first RPG I ever played, but I said time and time again, it's the one that got me into RPGs. Like I remember playing it though without a memory card for the first time, and every time I died, I had to start the game, start from
Oh
the
my god.
beginning
Okay.
again. But I think this is only when I rented it though originally though. I never had it to buy. I never owned it then,
Okay.
because this is before I actually had a PlayStation on my own. I think my brother got a land of a PlayStation from like a friend, old friend of his,
Okay.
and that's what I played originally. I played like oh I played it and then didn't have the memory card, and every time I played it, as I said, died. I had to start over again. But I just loved that game. I loved Midgar. I just loved the battle system. I really just enjoyed the adventure you went through. And like the first I got without Dan was I got to outside of Midgar, fought the Midgar Solemn, and then I realized later on, much later on, when I sort of got the game, um, on the PC, I actually got the PC version. That was the one that was the version I actually originally first version I've actually played through it,
Hmm.
beforehand, not the PlayStation version.
Okay.
And I found out later on, you actually didn't have to fight the Midgar Solemn. You shouldn't fight the Midgar Solemn at that point, and you had to use his chocobo to cross the marsh and get into the cave.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I got to the final boss in the PC version. I never beat it though. And then I cheated my way through beating it on the PlayStation version.
Okay. With codes and everything.
But coach, yeah, pretty much. You know, remember those like Action Replay Explorer and all that
Hmm.
stuff? Back in the day, I used an Explorer cheat cartridge,
Oh, okay.
so I did to get through that game. but I love that game anyway. Like I said, I played through the entire game pretty much. I just didn't got to the final boss in the PC version, but never beat it because I was way too over under leveled.
Hmm.
Got killed every time he does like ultra attack. Sephiroth, that's the thing. I really would like. I really do need to go back and play the original someday and actually play it through legitimately.
Hmm.
I guess. Um, but I do remember a lot of it though, and like the remake is just an absolutely fantastic remake. Though Square Enix, like a lot of people were really looking forward to this though, and just hopefully they didn't, screw it up because people were clamoring for this
Yeah.
game for remake for years. Like ever since they did that tech demo of it though back in 2005. So it's pretty much been like a 15-year
Oh
journey, I
man, yeah,
guess.
it's been a while.
And then once they basically said 2015, they basically at their conference it's like, okay, we're actually doing a remake, and then it took nearly 5 years to come
Yeah.
out. But it was worth it though. It's just like the fact is, it's a target game based in Midgar, whereas like it's like the first 5-10 hours is in Midgar in the original,
Hmm.
but they extended that whole thing to like a 30-40 hour game.
That's crazy.
Because it's not just like beat for beat what happens in the original
Hmm.
version. There's like so much more stuff. You learn more about the characters. You come across more of the sort of side characters that are in the original, like Biggs, West, Jesse, and Wedge. They're like sort of small characters in the original, but they have a bigger role in this one now.
Hmm.
And certain stuff like Wall Market, it's just a much bigger place, a much more extended thing that happens in that section that did in the original and stuff like that. Going into Shinra and you know all that sort of stuff. It's just more extended though, and some of it's just absolutely fantastic. Like the soundtrack is absolutely fantastic. I really like the battle system. I just love the fact that the materia, just equip them on your sword and your weapons and that there, and just like you can see them on display though, like the different colors though when you're in combat and stuff like that there, and like you just go online and just see everyone just to go on about it though, because like I pretty much agree with what they said because it's just a fantastic game, and that was it was like my favorite. It's pretty much my favorite game of the year until like Hades though. But like I said, you can ask me today what's my favorite game. I could say that, or I could say Hades. It's
Hmm.
like it's very hard to choose between them. It's like either one though. But like if you ask me now, I'd probably say Hades
Okay.
at the moment.
Hmm.
But like if you ask me tomorrow, it'd probably be maybe Final Fantasy 7
Yeah.
remake. But those are those are my two favorite games of 2020 for sure.
Hmm.
Anyway.
Yeah, those are two games I need to play for sure.
Yeah, like I'd recommend them though.
Is the
Uh,
remake coming out on PC or is it just PS4? PS5?
it's still on PS4.
Okay.
I'd say it'd probably come on PC. I'd say it'd probably come on PC maybe this year.
Okay.
But I'd either say I'd either get a PC version that or it'll come out on PS5. They'll do a PS5 version or maybe an upgrade, and but then when it comes out, the PC version will come
Yeah.
out. That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, I'm gonna so many games to look back upon, so like I'm kind of happy. Uh, 2021 is not stuffed so far, so I have time to, you know, play a couple of games.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot though from what I've seen that's coming out though that I
No.
particularly want. Like Super Mario 3D World would probably be the first new release I'll get this
Hmm.
year. Cause I play through that game again because I really love that. I really like 3D
Yeah.
World, and that Bowser's Fury thing looks cool. It probably won't be a long thing though. It's just like a big open area thing, kind of like from Odyssey though, but it looks cool nonetheless.
Yeah. Anything else you wanna talk about? Any other?
I think we've gone on long enough.
Yeah, I think we should.
I didn't expect this to go under 3 hours anyway, though, because it's just been such a long time that since we actually done one. So it was, so I had to sort of have a few things to talk about. Like, if we talked about everything that happened since August 2019, we'd probably be here like twice as long, but I think 3 odd hours is long
Yeah,
enough. Um, Probably might do another one down the road, I guess, so whenever we have certain things to talk about.
yeah. I mean,
But
it would be cool to get back to, especially with this. If I start putting it on Twitch too, I think it would be a good thing, to go back a couple, not every week, of course, but once in a while.
yeah, but every once in a while though, because like we used to do them every week for for people that don't know, but and I got to a point where it just kind of got draining.
Oh yeah,
So I commend people who do podcasts every week, especially 2 to 3 hour ones.
yeah, but people who do podcasts like that are actually paid and have an audience.
Yeah,
So,
but there's some people that do it every week that don't get paid,
hmm
but they do it 'cause they like doing it though. But like sometimes, yeah. But the fact is, like, but usually when I like, yeah, but usually we did the know. We got to a point where it's like we're not talking about anything different though, and like, but back then we used to do like gaming
hmm
news and stuff like that now, but like we just shoot the shit and just talk about various sorts of things
I mean, if
nowadays.
we had a big audience, if we had a, I'm not saying that our old audience was bad, but I mean, if we had a bigger audience and a bunch of people that watched us every week, I would say, okay, maybe, we can, doesn't have to be a 5 hour podcast. We can do like an hour and talk about, stuff here and there.
Yeah, just talk about a certain topic or just what I've been
Yeah.
playing, like or stuff like that there, and yeah,
If we had an audience, but I know, I mean, a lot of
yeah.
people a lot of people dropped by here on the stream that I saw, but I mean, I think for me to start doing one each and every week would need a pretty
No,
substantial audience.
I could not go back to that there though, because that was the reason why we sort of stopped doing it in the first place
Yeah,
though,
exactly.
because we did it every week though, and it just got to a point where it's just like kind of.
We didn't know what to say, didn't know what to talk about.
It wasn't, yeah, it wasn't that, no, because usually I did them on like sometimes I did them on days that I was working,
hmm
and therefore it became a bit of a, sometimes it became just a bit of a rush where it's like, oh fuck, okay, hurry up, we need to get going here, and I kind of hated that there when sort of when I had it was when I was in a
hmm
rush, because I expected, oh, we're going to be on here for like maybe 2 hours or something and go on for like 2.5 3 hours, and it's, oh god, hurry up, I need to get going, I need to end it here. I kind of hated that there, like ending it abruptly
hmm
because of that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm not saying we're going to be back next week, but maybe next month, maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes, for sure.
By then I'll probably be done finally with Valhalla.
Yeah, you'll probably be done with Valhalla. I'll probably be close to being done with Yakuza. So
I'll get to that game as well, but I can't say I kind of want to play through the rest of the series in chronological order
yeah,
first. Like I've done Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2,
but
and
I
I
mean
want to
it's
sort of do
it's
3,
not
4, 5, and
it's
6.
not Kiryu anymore, so it's kind of.
I know, but I just want to, but I don't want to miss any references though,
hmm
because I'm sure if I didn't play through them all, I'd maybe miss a reference. So
Yeah, I guess so. So yeah, I don't think we have anything more to talk about, and unless you have something else you want to.
no, probably the moment I fucking get off here now, but I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, we should talk about this and that there, but I can't think. I think that's mainly the main points I want to come across. Like I want to talk about 2020, of course, overall anyway,
Yeah,
because it was a bit of a shit show,
yeah, exactly.
and hopefully this year is better.
Yes, hopefully.
Well, certain things have started out a bit better though, like the
Yeah,
vaccine, Trump's
yeah,
going, some people who were part of that attack in the Capitol are getting arrested.
yep.
Um, so, but still, we're still in the middle of a pandemic.
Yep.
So, still not all sunshines and rainbows
No,
now.
not quite yet. Not quite yet, sadly. But we'll see down the line how things go, and hopefully everybody's doing well. And thanks to everybody who joined us on Twitch live, and everybody who's going to listen to this afterwards. Thanks a bunch. And I guess
No worries. I think that's it though. So thank you, Dennis, for joining me once again. It's been a long ass time since we
yeah,
talked.
exactly. It's been a while, for sure.
Yeah, we just chatted here and there on Twitter. Really, that was pretty much our level of
Yep.
communication for the last year and a half, nearly.
Yep. Pretty much. Pretty much.
So anyway, I thank you all for listening. I'll probably put this up in the United Gaming Podcast channel, but I'll say it'll probably be 80, episode 80, whatever it was. I forget exactly, or just retrospective, whatever. But anyway, thank you all for listening, and I'll see you all next
Yeah.
time.
Thank you for
Goodbye.
watching. Bye. Well, okay. That's not too bad. 3 hours? Alright. I need to stop the recording here.